All right, I'm gonna go. So now, I'm just gonna say what I need to about this. Just a topic I wanted to bring up. Since I hear a lot of people announcing fights. Ronald Cruz, okay. They starting to announce stuff on Canelo card. That makes sense. Yeah, who's Richards? Oh, I don't know. They got a lot of different things going on right now. So when would that happen? The second is the spent. Yeah, I already know that. That's all now. I said it already. Yeah, but I've been hearing a lot of people lately. They changed the narrative real quick. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and ask the question. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there. Why so many people worried about this man right now? All these years, we've been kind of waiting on people to kind of recognize greatness, but they don't really want to say nothing until you get in the ring. But now, that's what I'm saying. The expectation's so high now. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of confused on everything right now. Because from what I'm seeing, a lot of people they going from just one conclusion to another one. I see people switching up real quick. It's only like two guys they really asking for Crawford to fight right now, and he just chose one of them. And one of the guys they just and they haven't been asking for the Tszyu fight for nothing but about. And the crazy thing is they asked about the Tszyu fight as soon as the Spence fight was over. As soon as the Spence fight was over, they said, "Yeah, we need to Crawford need to fight Tszyu." I'm like, So y'all don't want to see the rematch? They never want to see a rematch. That's one thing everybody don't want to talk about. They don't want to see a rematch. They ready to move on. They thought he was gonna duck Tszyu for some reason. I don't know why. I'm confused on that. Well, not really. I'm not confused on that. I know why people have been saying that. They haven't been watching Crawford that long, so that's why they said it. But at the same time, it's still kind of crazy to sit up here and actually think he was ducking Tszyu. So I know he's tired of hearing stuff like that. So yeah, he took the fight. I would too. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I think people thought he was just gonna sit back and let people just say certain things, but nah. They kind of build a fight up themselves, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to Crawford, he ain't really got to call nobody out. He just let these guys talk. Then when they're ready to jump in the ring, he'll accept the fight and move ahead. He didn't get a chance with Canelo, so he moving on now. And Canelo gonna have a difficult time with the fight he already got anyway, so he didn't want to struggle with all those somebody like Crawford. But see, that's how that's how you shut everything down, just like that. Now everybody's not worried about the fights that's going on. Now everybody quiet. Now everybody quiet about it. But Tszyu, he's basically showing that a lot of these guys who've been saying for years that nobody want to fight me and everything else, that's definitely a lie. I've been saying that already. That's why I'm glad Tszyu showed up. For any dude running around right now talking about, yeah, man, these dudes don't want to fight me. Why they want to fight Tszyu? Why everybody hopping in the ring with Tszyu? I've been saying that for months. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's one of the truest things in boxing. It's simple. It just explains how everybody just tries to make up these little stories, like everybody running from them in boxing. Like, come on, man. I'm definitely not a fan of guys who do that all day. It's all right to sell a fight, but if you're gonna try to sell a fight for 4 or 5 years, bro, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm definitely not gonna wait on a fight for 4 or 5 years. But these dudes making fights. What, people start asking for this fight last year? This fight already get made? That's how it goes. People gonna learn who Terence Crawford is soon. That's why on this channel, I ain't never begged Terence Crawford, hey man, would you please fight Tszyu and Earl Spence? It's gonna happen. If they want to make it happen, it's gonna happen. It's simple, just like that. That's why a lot of these guys, they favorite boxers. That's why they gotta run around and try to promote the fight for these guys. Like, oh, yeah, you know, Canelo, he'll beat this guy. Like, just why don't he just do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys I watch, you know, they'll jump in the ring and fight whoever. They're not gonna have me running around and try to promote for them like I'm Vince McMahon, and you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna give like the rah-rah talk. This definitely happened fast though. It just exposed everything. Terence Crawford making fights like this at the age he's at. You got guys at 32, 33 years old right now. They acting like they need to retire. Guys acting like they're at the end of their career. It's over with for a lot of these guys, man. Even if Tszyu lose, whatever happens, it's over with for a lot of these guys. These young guys, they not finna really wait around for an opportunity, or it's not gonna be the era where they try to build people's name up like they used to do in this era now. How they gotta build a guy name up and make sure he get a certain fight, match make. They ain't gotta do that the next 10 years. It's gonna be different. Trust me, it's already different now. You ain't got a match make for nobody like Benavidez. He gonna just hop in the ring. Look at Munguia, he hopping in the ring. All these young guys just hopping in the ring. I've been saying this for a year. Tszyu hopping in the ring. Terence Crawford, I don't care. Let's go. I've been saying it for a year now. All the young guys making the big fights now. It's over with for all these guys. You know what I'm saying? These guys is like 32, 33. They finished already. You got Terence Crawford. He trying to hold the flag for all the guys in the 30s. But they can't hang around. A lot of these guys falling off. Think about it. What big fight are we looking for with a guy who's over 30 years old right now? All right, we got Beterbiev and Bivol. After those two guys fight, what else after that? I heard people saying Canelo and Beterbiev. He said, no, I'm not fighting him. He said, I barely even watched that guy fight. But you know, people just say things. They're just trying to match make anybody. But that's not a fight that's gonna happen. But Tszyu, yeah, he definitely proven that these guys don't hop in the ring with just anybody. He's doing it. For some reason, he can just hop in the ring with everybody. Tried to hop in the ring with Thurman. That didn't work. Now it's Fundora. Could be Crawford next. I told people last year. People try to make jokes and things. Oh, you know, he's not that good. Hey, man, that's why we had the fights. We could see how good he is. But in 2 more fights, you know what I'm saying, Tszyu, he's the big fight now. All you got to do is beat a couple of top 10 guys, and you'll be a pay-per-view guy. But guys don't want to do that no more. Talking about Terence Crawford ducking. Man, these dudes is new fans. I'm telling you, every dude who say that, they don't know boxing. Trust me. Trust me. Dudes don't know who Terence Crawford is for real. I don't care if they saw him beat Spence and all that. They don't know who Terence Crawford is. They really don't. They don't know who Tszyu is. All of this proves it. The fact that people still saying that guys ducking, no way. Nah. We're not going to roll with that narrative. In 2024, that's over with. Those days are over. Because what I notice now is people ain't realizing, but this the guy Charlo supposed to fight. Charlo supposed to fight Tszyu and Crawford. These two guys that tried to fight Charlo last year. But for some reason, people just keep going past that. Keep going past it. Keep going past it. They keep going past it. They acting like he just retired. I guess he retired then. He gonna take a year off. It's coming up on a year. If I had to predict, I think Charlo gonna take a year off. Guaranteed. I knew he was already gonna do that before the fight even started. If he would have won, I think he would have took a year off anyways. I just seen it coming for some reason. But you know what I'm saying? He's getting credit for that. And Terence Crawford, he just got a big one. That's what I'm saying, bro. Let me tell y'all something. This is supposed to something else. And let me get this on. Let me get this on. Get this recorded so I remember this. So Terence Crawford, he gets no credit for beating Spence. He still got to prove himself by going up against Jaron Ennis and Tszyu, two young guys who just got a belt 5 seconds ago. He got to prove himself against them guys because he just beat Spence. But for some reason, Charlo, he go 12 rounds with Canelo, and this is that, and that's some of these guys' favorite fighter. He go 12 rounds with Canelo. Now everybody say they quiet about him now. He ain't got to prove himself. Y'all notice that, or nobody noticed that? We ain't notice how everybody quiet about how Charlo don't got to prove himself, but how all of a sudden Terence Crawford, oh yeah, I know he beat Spence, but he got to prove himself against Tszyu and then Jaron Ennis and then maybe Canelo. Like, bro, cut it out, man. I see what time it is, man. Cut it out, bro. I see what time it is. I see what time it is. Like, I know everybody gonna like it. I don't care. I see what time it is. Like, I'm tired of people sitting up here acting like everybody got to prove themselves. That ain't gonna happen. Like, no, ain't nobody who taking the big fights right now in boxing. Y'all waiting on McGee versus Canelo? That's the big fight y'all waiting on in boxing right now. If Terence Crawford don't fight Tszyu, everybody waiting on McGee versus Canelo. It's sad that everybody mad about it. Everybody mad. I called it out. Everybody mad about it. You see how everybody ran up out of here? I'm glad. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Everybody got mad. They tucked their tail and they ran. Good. Glad y'all ran up out of here. And I'm gonna say it again. Because that let me know that those the ones who be coming up in here. Good. Excellent. So let me say that again. So I'm glad I said that. Tszyu. So people are mad. Let me write that down right now. So Crawford. That's what they don't like. Oh, that's what they don't like. Oh, they don't like that. I'm glad. Oh, yeah, I'm glad. That's what they mad about. Oh, yeah, that's what I found out. Now I found out who been hiding. These the people that been hiding. Yeah. Yeah, these the people that been hiding. Yeah, I found out who it was. Yeah, I found out exactly who it was. Yeah, you see, they don't want to acknowledge this. I'll type this out fast. They don't want to acknowledge this, but I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this right now though. They said he got to prove himself against Ennis and Tszyu. Everybody else get to chill. Y'all see how that goes? Hey man, they don't like that. Dang, I thought people liked the truth. They ran from the truth. I mean, that's what they've been saying. I've been hearing for years, man. What Terence Crawford been A side? What according to these people? What 9 months? Okay, so basically, he just started calling the shots, right? According to them, they begging him to make a fight happen now. He just started getting in the driver's seat, low key. Just asked Canelo for a fight. People don't even notice that. He tried to get a Canelo fight. Now, for some reason, Terence Crawford fighting Canelo, that's not bigger than fighting Boots. I seen that. People like, nah, that don't make no sense. That's when I said people just delusional right now. Delusional. They just coming up with anything right now. I'm like, man, but that's crazy though. But boxing gonna show though. Dudes don't want to tell the truth in boxing. That's starting to come out right now. That's why Mike Tyson stepping in, doing what he want to do, because he like, man, they ain't trying to box for real. They putting together some weak fights, man. They ain't trying to box for real. You got Tszyu stepping in, young guy. Everybody talking about some don't nobody want to fight nobody. Crawford finna hop in the ring with him. Then y'all say Crawford didn't want to fight Tszyu. For some reason, nobody asked for the Spence rematch. Let me just get Crawford versus Tszyu. I knew the play. I seen the play already. Soon as Crawford beat Spence, the next day they talking about Tszyu versus Crawford. Then they started talking about Ennis when Ennis had got the belt. I was like, all right. But you got to realize though, Ennis and Tszyu only had the belt for 5 minutes, and now fans is jumping bandwagons. And then these two young guys. So Crawford got to beat these two young guys who just got a belt. When is that gonna make sense? What is that gonna prove? People act like they've been watching Tszyu and Ennis for centuries, and they like, yeah, this the fight I've been thinking of. Y'all ain't been thinking about no Crawford versus no Tszyu. Ain't nobody been asking for this fight except since last year. They just popping up with it. That's the one thing that I gotta say. Yeah, man. But you notice though, as soon as but I noticed that though. Like Crawford trying to fight Charlo, people don't pay attention to that. Tszyu tried to fight Charlo, nobody pay attention to that. Then as soon as Spence get beat by Crawford, now they put Tszyu on Crawford, even though he hasn't even went to 154. Then they turn around and say, nah, We just want you to be at 47 and fight Ennis. Like, they don't even know which way they want to go. You know what's crazy? And Terence Crawford, he's the type of person, he'll fight whoever available. But people such haters, bro. You know what I'm saying? They make no sense. They make no sense in boxing. None at all. Yeah, it's funny to me the way they do things these days. Everybody talking about these dudes be ducking. That's what I'm saying. This goes to show you who really wants to fight people, who doesn't. I've been saying it for years. Now it's starting to prove it. So many people worried about who Terence Crawford gonna fight now. I've been saying that for years, man. We need to get Terence Crawford in the ring with so-and-so. Oh, he ain't fought nobody. Oh, he need to prove himself. He ain't fought nobody. They said he ain't fought nobody. He beat Spence. Now we need to see him in the ring with the best. That's why Tszyu shutting everything down right now, man. He coming through shutting everything down. That's why dudes better hope he don't get better in this Terence Crawford fight. They better hope he don't get better after this fight. Because that's usually what happens. Yeah, only Terence Crawford trying to do something that what Canelo and Mayweather did. Something like that. See, he's fighting somebody that fans is actually checking for. See, Tszyu versus Terence Crawford, that's a way more difficult fight than Canelo versus Munguia. These fans ain't sitting out here. Nobody out here asking Charlo, man, let's see you fight Crawford. They ain't put pressure on nobody. But they say, like, yeah, Tszyu. That's when I knew. They said, I knew. That's when I knew. They been knew Tszyu was good. Right after Spence, lost to Terence Crawford, they started yelling Tszyu name. That's when I knew right then. Oh, these guys must have been protecting Charlo from Tszyu. Like, that's the guy who Tszyu supposed to fight was Charlo. So why y'all trying to match him with Terence Crawford? It makes sense now. They knew Charlo couldn't compete with Tszyu. But people keep saying that, but for some reason, Terence Crawford the one that got to get in the ring with him. But they don't want to talk about that though. They want to go around that so bad. And I don't want to just focus on one thing, but that's a big deal, man. That's something that these guys, the kind of narrative they've been pushing. They'll say, oh, a guy like Tszyu ain't ready. But he fighting everybody though. And he winning. Could have beat him a long time ago if he ain't ready. And then all the young guys is having big fights now. They're not waiting on these older guys to kind of get in the ring no more. It's becoming that time now. Now Canelo got to fight a younger guy now. Munguia's a younger guy. That's how it goes. But I think Terence Crawford got the biggest challenge right now. He definitely got the biggest challenge. But I don't know the narratives people keep saying as far as him having to prove himself. I mean, it's gonna be what, Tszyu today, Jaron Ennis tomorrow, then what? Next year, who it's gonna be? Because I see now, he's the only person that got to prove himself against these guys. These guys are well, not Jaron Ennis, he's a newer guy in the weight class, the same weight class. But as far as Tszyu, he was in 154, and that was Charlo's opponent. You got Charlo fans talking about yeah, Crawford need to fight Tszyu. I'm going for Tszyu, and what, bro? That's your favorite fighter's opponent. Then you talking about Crawford's not even worthy to fight. He's not even good enough to beat Charlo. So why would you think they're not even making any sense no more? It's all over the place. It's so confusing. They want Crawford to do everybody dirty work now. They try to make it seem like they want him to I want to see if he's the best or not. They don't think he's the best. You'll know if somebody thinks somebody the best. When you seen somebody get treated like they're the best, you'll be like, oh man, they getting treated like they're the best. Nah, they're not treating him like he's the best. They want to see him lose, most definitely. Yeah, but they starting to notice now, oh yeah, Crawford take any fight. Yeah, he do. He'll take any fight. Most definitely. They talking about some he ducking Tszyu. That's crazy. I know he definitely got tired of hearing that. That's how I know people ain't been watching him long. He ducking somebody? Nah, that's crazy. But now I understand now. These fans, they're not really in tune with boxing right now. I heard a lot of these guys say last year that Tszyu can compete with Charlo. But now it's different. But my thing is that people better hope that Tszyu don't beat Crawford. I'm telling you that right now. While everybody's sitting there, I heard a couple of guys laughing like, yeah, man, Crawford might lose. You better hope he don't lose. Because if Tszyu beat Crawford, America done. Because I don't see nobody trying to push nobody else out here to try to stop a Tszyu right now. I asked everybody about Tszyu versus Jaron Ennis. Everybody got quiet. So I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on now. So I don't want to hear nothing about who y'all think can beat Tszyu if Terence Crawford lose to him. And I'm a huge Terence Crawford fan. I'm just telling y'all. While everybody thinking that's funny, and yeah, I'm a Spence fan, but I hope Terence Crawford lose. Okay, if Terence Crawford lose, I know you ain't finna send Spence or Charlo out there, so I definitely see how that's going. Yeah, that'll go bad real quick. But I think it's gonna be a good fight though. But I'm just letting people know they think it's gonna be a situation where they laughing. Nah. Tszyu really trying to fight everybody. This man put out a shirt talking about he'll fight Charlo and Crawford, all these people. And he really fighting Crawford now. I've been saying it. I knew he'll definitely fight all those guys, but I didn't know if the fight would happen. But now that it's happening, it's gonna cause a problem for a lot of people. That's why I said, man, a lot of people have been saying all this ducking stuff for years. Man, you can't say that when you got Tszyu hopping in the ring. Then it's Charlo old opponent. Like Charlo could have been knocked off Tszyu. We could have stopped hearing about Tszyu 2 or 3 years ago. I keep hearing people say, yeah, man, Tszyu ain't like that. Well, stop him then. You know what I'm saying? We gotta send Crawford after him. Like, why we gotta send Crawford after Tszyu? We got all this talent in America. Why we can't send a B or C fighter after Tszyu? We gotta send Crawford after him. And this Charlo old opponent. Everybody like, yeah, man, he might lose to Tszyu. Okay, that's not gonna be good. I don't see Charlo jumping up trying to fight him. And they say Crawford the one that's ducking. Man, come on, man. Get that trash away from me, man. That y'all peddling, man. These dudes turning boxing into TMZ. This dude got to fight Tszyu, somebody else mandatory, who finna get all the belts at 154. But they gonna say Terence Crawford ducking. Then he got to fight Jaron Ennis. So Tszyu and Jaron Ennis ain't been a champion but 5 minutes. But this the best competition we got for Terence Crawford in the world. And everybody bragging like, yeah, man. Come on, man. If this the best competition we got, don't even send nobody at Canelo then. Just leave it alone. Like, just leave it alone. Don't even send nobody at Canelo. I heard people saying, yeah, Tszyu, Crawford can fight Canelo. Just leave it alone then. That's all we got. Because right now they're saying the only guy that can beat. I've been looking behind all this. The only guy they said that can beat Crawford right now is Jaron Ennis and Tszyu. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, them young guys, who else? You know what I'm saying? Because we had a lot of guys around already. Now everybody like, nah, nobody else, just them. Like, not even Big Charlo. Like, people ain't even saying Big Charlo. They saying nobody else. Just them two. And Benavidez. When they started saying Benavidez, that's when I said, okay. Now I understand what's going on. They haven't thought about this. They didn't think Crawford would win. They didn't think Crawford would beat Spence. So now they coming up with Benavidez, Tszyu, Jaron Ennis, Deontay Wilder might be next. Ain't nobody else getting up. I mean, if you look at the opponents that Crawford is getting right now, it's not the guys that Canelo's getting. The only list Canelo getting right now is Munguia. They like, yeah, he'll fight Munguia or Berlanga. But Crawford, he got to fight Tszyu, Jaron Ennis, and throw Benavidez in there. Like, who the face of boxing is? That's what I'm trying to find out. Y'all trying to find out who Crawford. Why so many people worried about Crawford right now? He just been A-side for what, 6 fights? I guess this the first fight that Crawford was A-side in, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like, this is the first time that Crawford been the A-side in a big mega fight. So, I mean, he's picking Tszyu. So, from what the evidence I'm looking at, that's not a guy who's ducking, that ducked anybody. I don't think he ever ducked anybody in his life. He fighting a Tszyu. And people will say, who Tszyu is? He's going to be a guy who's going to cause a lot of trouble if he end up being Terence Crawford. That's who he is. That's all I'm saying. I can sit up here and be like, yeah, I guarantee Crawford win. If he don't win, nobody jumping up. It's going to be a year since Spence fought and Charlo. So I know that's not going to happen when they jumping up. Then I can't send the other Charlo at him because we know that situation. So, yeah, we'll be done real quick. So this is a very extremely important fight. But I'm just looking at everything right now. He's the focal point of boxing right now. I ain't seen no other boxer get as much pressure on their next fight as he has. I seen people like Tank announce his fight. They're like, yeah, they cool with that. Canelo announced his fight. I mean, you know, they got some rumblings about it, but it's over with by now. You know, they're not really talking about it. But as far as Terence Crawford, they're talking about it. Even though he gonna have the Tszyu and the other stuff come out, they gonna ask about another fight. They gonna say, "Oh, Terence Crawford fighting Tszyu. Okay, if he win that fight, who he fight next?" You know what I'm saying? It's gonna never end. It's gonna be who next, who next, who next. Oh, Jaron Ennis. Then who after that? Oh, Canelo. Then who after that? Oh, Benavidez. Who after that? It's gonna never end. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. And what's crazy is we can't put pressure on every boxer like that. Why just him? That's the thing that I see now. Like, we can't do that to everybody. Not just him. They selective with what they doing. It's only certain guys. They starting to find out you ain't got to put no pressure on Terence Crawford to pick no fight. He gonna pick a hard fight, whether you're around or not. Like, that's why I don't understand. That's why I know people got trash fighters they've been following in boxing for a long time. They think that certain boxers you gotta actually ask him to fight somebody. Like, yeah, I want to see him fight this person. Man, I mean, if the guy want to fight him, it'll happen. Like, y'all think everybody's just willing to fight everybody in boxing. It don't really go like that. We see that now. Everybody don't love boxing. It's a lot of guys that can sit on the couch for a year without boxing. We starting to see that now. I don't want to name no names, take no shots, but it's guys right now that's probably gonna take a year off in boxing. They in the middle of their prime. Then you got guys like Terence Crawford at the end of his career. He's still fighting, active, moving around like a young guy. Like, who the attention going towards right now? Like, are we really? I feel like right now, Terence Crawford getting that kind of love Kobe used to get when Shaq left. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they acting like, yeah, man, we happy he won, but not really. They're not happy he won against Spence. It's the next man up. And that's disappointing to hear because now the way fans talking, they talking like Tszyu is a bigger challenge than Earl Spence. And you know, me being the guy I am, I'm thinking in my mind, why you ain't say that before he fought Spence? You know what I'm saying? Like, we waiting to right now for him to say that? Oh, well, fight this guy, fight that guy. I mean, I'm cool with seeing the fights, but as far as the expectations, as far as his career, man, people talking about he ducking, man. People need to stop using that word on certain people. Let's be real. It ain't no boxers putting together no big fights right now. Everybody think a big fight is happening in boxing right now to the point where it's like, yeah, I know Terence Crawford just fought Spence, but if he don't fight this guy, he's ducking. Bro, ain't no big fights getting made in boxing like that right now. Like, man, relax. If y'all want to be real. That's how I know people don't know boxing for real. It ain't no big fights getting made. Canelo finna fight Munguia. 10 years ago, man, they wouldn't even paid attention to that fight. I don't even know what dude was even talking about now. People just want to disrespect Terence Crawford's name like it's just crazy. But he fight more than your favorite fighter though. That's what's wild. Like, he fighting the most. We putting pressure on the old man to carry boxing who just showed up. That everybody think just showed up. Yeah, man, Terence Crawford, I know you 36, but we need you to fight Jerron Ennis and Tszyu because, you know, everybody else quit on us. That's what's really going on. The fans asking for help when they don't deserve it. If I was Terence Crawford, I would have retired. Like, man, y'all don't deserve nothing. Sitting here talking about I ain't A-side. What are y'all drinking? I'm not A-side. And then say I'm ducking Tszyu and Jerron Ennis. And everybody else in boxing ain't fighting nobody. These dudes ain't even fighting a Tszyu or Jerron Ennis. These other guys fighting. Man, come on. Are we serious? What big fights happened last year? These dudes fighting MMA fighters, and we want Terence Crawford to fight the best of the best. People just want to see him get beat up. That's all it is. At this point, it ain't no other explanation about it. Ain't no other reason. I seen it already. I'm like, okay, we're going to ask for every kind of fight now. We're going to ask for this fight. You gonna put pressure on Terence Crawford, Canelo? Nah, we just gonna put pressure on Terence Crawford. Is he the face of boxing, or is Tank and all these other guys like y'all been saying? That's what I'm trying to find out. But I like the fight that's coming up, but at the same time, the narrative they be pushing, it just goes to show. It's a waste of time, man. These dudes peddling trash right now. Terence Crawford has stopped 10 dudes in a row. I think he got like 9 knockouts in a row, 9, 10 knockouts in a row. And you know what the fans saying? Oh man, you know, I ain't know he'll stop a guy like Earl Spence. Dude got 9 knockouts in a row. What are we talking about? Like, all you had to do is look at his resume and look at it and be like, oh, he do got 9 knockouts in a row. But dudes just got in a trance so bad, they're like, man, I just know he'll never lose to a guy. I know a guy like Spence, he'll never lose to him. Come on, man. Now that he done lost, we throwing Tszyu out there. I knew when I heard Tszyu name, I just knew it. I said, yeah, they desperate now. I know Terence Crawford gonna fight him, but they desperate. They desperate. Terence Crawford let's just say Terence Crawford beat Tszyu and Jerron Ennis. You ain't got no more young guys for the next 5 years now. At 47. We already got nobody at 147. Ain't nobody at 147. I haven't heard nobody say Jerron Ennis need to fight this guy at 147. Except Mario Barrio. So 147, that weight class ain't really jumping like that. 54, everybody young over there. So I don't see nobody trying to get Tszyu to fight at 54 right now. So yeah, man, them two guys, if they fight Terence Crawford and lose to him, you ain't gonna have no talent for the next 5 years. I'm just telling you. You can be watching these other guys. You can be watching Ryan Garcia and these other guys for a long time. That's exactly how it's gonna go. While people trying to feed all these young guys to Terence Crawford, okay, he'll sit these guys down. I done seen Terence Crawford, man. I done seen Terence Crawford stop a few guys' careers. I ain't gonna name no names, but I done seen him get guys out the Olympics. Guys who was medalists and everything. I seen him beat a guy up so bad one time, the guy almost started crying, and the manager stopped it and everything. Man, okay, man. Send these young guys in there if you want to. This ain't no Floyd Mayweather. He ain't gonna beat you with the jab. Terence Crawford, an old man now. He ain't gonna be jabbing nobody. This man got like 10 knockouts in a row. We sitting here like, yeah, he ducking. Man, come on, man. Quit telling these ghost stories in boxing, man. Go disrespect somebody else. I got guys who went 12 rounds with guys who been knocked out before and everything. And this dude has stopped everybody from 135 on up to 140, 147, about to be 154. And we still putting roadblocks down. But I see what time it is. I definitely see what time it is. People didn't quit on Spence and Charlo. I'm hearing everybody talking about, yeah, Tszyu, he ain't on Charlo and Spence level. Prove it. If Terence Crawford lose to Tszyu, ain't none of them gonna come save him. I put money on it right now. Anybody want to take that bet? We can take it. Ain't nobody finna come save no Terence Crawford if he lose. They been hyping up all these dudes for years. That's why I said, man, relax, man. Appreciate greatness. If I was Terence Crawford, I'd be like, man, I'll retire. I'd be like, hey, man, let your favorite fighter come stop Tszyu. Since y'all don't think he all that, let your favorite fighter come beat him. What's going on, Alfonso? What's going on, Alfonso? That's my dog right there. Yeah, if I was Terence Crawford, I'd say, man, let your favorite fighter come beat Tszyu. Since y'all don't think he all that and you want me to do the dirty work, let them guys y'all been saying that everybody been ducking all these years. Let them come beat Tszyu. I asked everybody about Jerron Ennis versus Tszyu. Nobody wanted to talk about that, so I already know what the answer is on that. I'm a pretty smart guy. I asked that question first. I put the video out and everything. People went past it. They act like they ain't see it. I said, what about Tszyu versus Jerron Ennis? They ain't know who Jerron Ennis was or Tszyu. They like, I don't know who none of those guys are. Oh, now you don't know. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll find out real quick. I'll find out real quick. Cause I said it last year. I said, you know what, man, Tszyu, he want that smoke for real. You know, everybody like, oh man, Tszyu, he just calling out people. He just doing stuff. You know, Charlo here, man, Charlo will do nothing. If Tszyu go out there and stop Crawford, Charlo ain't doing nothing. Spence ain't doing nothing. Period. I put 500 on that right now. They will do nothing. If Tszyu go out there and stop Crawford, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. I'm telling you, Alfonso now. Boots, I ain't nobody a bigger Boots fan than me. I'm telling you, nobody a bigger Boots fan than me. Nobody a bigger Boots fan than me. But I know what's going on. And the thing about it is, that's the only thing they can send at Crawford is Boots and Boots and Tszyu. If Crawford beat Boots and Tszyu, man, y'all, we ain't gonna have no talent. That's what everybody doing. They trying to feed Crawford the last little crumbs we got. Okay, do what you want to. Okay. Send a Tszyu. It's gonna go bad either way. I'm gonna tell y'all both ways it goes bad. If Tszyu beat Crawford, ain't nobody in America gonna come and stop Tszyu. I'm telling you that now. First name you're gonna start hearing is David Morrell, and they're gonna start going to 68 because they know the guys ain't 60, ain't like that. Then if Crawford win, Boots. That's what it is. It's gonna be like, yeah, you know, I know Tszyu, you know, he ain't really beat nobody like that. Cause, you know, if everybody else, you know, they're gonna start explaining why Tszyu ain't like that and everything else, you know. It'll be stuff. They don't understand. But we're gonna figure out if Tszyu like that this weekend. That's the thing about it. We ain't gotta wait. That's the good thing about Tszyu. I learned. You ain't gotta sit around and wait 4-5 months and figure out when Tszyu gonna fight. He gonna fight again. Trust me. Just wait. Just wait 3 months. He gonna fight. That's one thing I learned about Tszyu. He gonna fight, man. He don't care about what's going on. The only reason he ain't fight recently is because he was waiting on the Amazon Prime thing to happen. And guess what? He the first fight on there for a reason. I'm just being real, man. Everybody want to sit up here and act like America just got it on lock like that. Nah, we don't got it on lock like that. Nah. Not with Terence Crawford. He almost out the door. If he wanted to retire right now, nah, I don't hear nobody talking about they gonna send Jerron Ennis towards Tszyu. I made a whole video about it. I said, do everybody believe in Boots like that or what's up? We gonna see. What about Tszyu? They might fight each other. Nobody want to address that. I'm like, oh man, all right, man. I don't know. I think I am. I don't know. I think I will. I think I will. I think I will. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. What you think? I think I will. I'm still kind of hyped for it. I think it will be a better fight though with Fedor. I'm not gonna lie. I think Fedor gonna let them hands fly. Fedor don't really clinch like that. He's not gonna sit around and hug. Him and Tszyu don't hug and stuff like that. It's gonna, trust me, you're gonna get your money worth. Somebody's head gonna fly. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be the card gonna be loaded. No, I'm not gonna lie. The card gonna be loaded. I will not lie to you. But they're not gonna really be clinching and stuff like that. Somebody's head gonna fly in that fight. That's one thing I do know. They throw a lot of uppercuts too. These dudes really knock people out with uppercuts. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. I actually think it's actually gonna be a better fight. Because Tszyu ain't really winning against a guy who threw a lot of combinations like Fedor can. So it's gonna be a little different for him as well. So it ain't gonna be no just, it's still a challenge. Trust me. I thought about it for a while. It's still a challenge. But this gonna set up for a good summer though. Tszyu fighting Fedor. People still get to see what he made of this weekend. I want people to judge him off this weekend. Because when he get in the ring with Crawford, if he win or lose against Crawford, I don't want people to say he a bum and stuff like that. Because I already see how stuff goes. But judging off this weekend, I think he's gonna fight well though. Oh, you think Eddie Hearn will get a 10? Yeah, Eddie Hearn gonna say that. I think he said something about the fight already. I don't know. But people really think that Terence Crawford just a guy who's really gonna duck people out here. He's ducking young guys who just got a belt. And this is the thing about it right here. Fans feel like, let's just say as a boxing fan, they feel like we should just bow down to a guy like Jaron Ennis or Tszyu. Even though I'm big fans of both of these guys. But they just got a belt though. So I'm gonna lower Terence Crawford value for a guy who just got a belt 5 seconds ago. What are we doing in boxing? Then we're gonna say Canelo at a whole nother level. No, he's not. Let's stop all that. Because if he was, we'll be asking him to fight 4 or 5 different guys. We're not even asking Canelo to fight 4 or 5 different guys like we're doing with Terence Crawford. It's whole different expectations around here. Yeah, he the man right now. They treat him like that. I'm sitting back. I'm sitting back chilling. But the way it's looking, I'm supposed to be making a Terence Crawford video every day. I'm like, oh, I'm holding on to information, I guess, for no reason. Because, man, they trying to figure out who his next fight is. It's a big deal right now. So he really that guy right now. Canelo turn him down. People like, yeah, that's supposed to happen. So Charlo turned down Crawford. Canelo turned down Crawford. I mean, people act like that didn't happen. Now we get to Tszyu and Jaron Ennis, and they feel like that Crawford would duck those guys if he don't fight them. They don't do that for no other boxer. That's why I said they got this energy for a guy they don't even know like that. They just start finding out about Terence Crawford. But the guys that they've been promoting all these years, talking about they the face of boxing, they don't got the energy for them guys. Like, to be honest with you, I'm looking at it now. Just to be unbiased, it's probably the biggest fight of the year so far. Against Crawford and Tszyu. I mean, what else? People, what, y'all stopping vacation? Y'all canceling y'all vacation to watch Canelo fight Munguia or something in May or something like that? That's what we doing? We canceling vacation to watch Munguia versus Canelo. I know I'm not. No, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, no way. Ain't nobody canceling vacation to watch no Munguia versus Canelo. Ain't no way. Nah. Now, if Benavidez versus Canelo is coming on, oh, you know what time it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just a perfect example right there. You know what time it is. If Benavidez fighting Canelo, oh, everything going on the whole. Oh, yeah. I have to. But we gotta understand though. We do have to understand because we do have nice people in this world. But we do have to understand these fans were just saying that Tszyu and Terence Crawford. Not just Terence Crawford. They just said Tszyu wasn't that guy last year either. I said, man, this Tszyu guy, he kind of doing some things right now. Oh, he ain't fighting nobody. I mean, I don't know what that means, but you can kind of tell when a guy's good or not at a certain level. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if people understand by that. At this point now, if you got to see a guy fight another champion to see if he's good or not, that means you don't know boxing for real. I'm gonna just be 100 with you. If you got to see another dude fight the very, very best in the world for you to see who good in the world, that just means you got trash skills as far as trying to figure out who the best. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do. I ain't talking about Andrew. I'm just talking about personally from other people. I'm not finna sit up here and be like, yeah, man, this the number 1 and number 2 in the world. They gonna fight each other, and whoever the best, that's the best in the world. Okay. Well, let's go to the next division and figure out. Nah, man. Figure out on your own, man. You know boxing, man. They don't want to figure it out like that though. I'm sitting up here like, now we gotta get Tszyu and skip him up. This ain't Monopoly. Like, go 3 steps, Tszyu, and go to 168, and then go. Nah, man. That's what's going on with boxing. Like, fans don't want to get educated. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Like, people just said 8 months ago that Terence Crawford ain't ready for welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all don't know it, but a couple of months ago they just said Tszyu don't do nothing but fight welterweights. So y'all don't even understand that. They say Tszyu don't fight nothing but welterweights. He fight little guys. So I'm saying to myself, why would y'all put him in there with a guy who's a welterweight when y'all just said he don't fight nothing but welterweights? Now y'all pushing bad narratives. Y'all supporting bad narratives now. Now you say you don't want to see him in there with a welterweight, but then he in there with one. That's crazy to me. So they have bad little narratives they push all around. But to say Terence Crawford, if he don't fight Tszyu or Ennis, that's a duck. That's crazy to me. But Canelo, you know, he get the hook for, you know, they give him a pass for turning down a Terence Crawford fight. For some reason, when it comes to Terence Crawford versus Tszyu, the weight class don't matter. But when it comes to Canelo versus Terence Crawford, oh, the weight class matters, you know. So who the weight classes matter for? Is it certain people that the weight classes matter for? That's another thing we got to bring up. Because now everybody being hypocrites in boxing. So who do the weight classes matter for? So I heard a lot of people say, oh, yeah, Tank can't move up and all. So who can move up? So who good enough to, I'm telling you, on this channel right now, I'm announcing this right now. On this channel right now, everybody ain't pound for pound. If you crying about 5 pounds, you ain't going on pound for pound. I'm telling you that right now, homie. If you crying about 5 pounds, you're not going on pound for pound. It's not ounce for ounce. It's called pound for pound. Not ounce for ounce. None of that. I don't know what people be doing as far as boxing, man. This stuff's starting to get WWE a little bit. It be certain dudes, they just want to skip weight classes. So Terence Crawford, he a guy that got to skip weight classes to be good. Okay, who else? Devin Haney, he another guy who got to skip weight classes to be good. Okay, who else? I heard Bibble one of them guys now. I heard Bibble got to go cruiserweight. I heard that recently. So who else? Like, come on, man. I see the play. I see the play. I already see the play that's going on. Everybody ain't pound for pound, bro. I'm telling y'all that right now. I just proved it. Y'all can name your favorite fighter. I'm gonna ask him, hey, can he go up a weight class right now? Well, nah, he got to be a certain guy. Oh, well, he ain't the best then. Bring me somebody else. He's not the best. These guys crying about 5 pounds now. I'm talking about the fans. They just defend anybody. They'll try to come up with certain reasons why they defend certain people. It ain't not one reason any fan right now can sit up here and say, yeah, man, the reason why I feel like this guy has an advantage over Tszyu, or nah, man, these guys ain't doing nothing right now. Prove yourself. You got guys in their 20s right now acting like they got grandkids. These dudes living like they got grandkids and they 25, 26. And you got dudes at 33, 32 years old that's taking a year off, that's taking one fight in 24 months, 18 months, taking 1 year layoffs. They get one payday. That's why I laid off Canelo. Canelo make what, 35, $40 million a fight. These guys get $15 million. They stuck in the house now. Yeah, I made $15 million, man. I ain't finna fight no more. Man, Canelo make that every time he step out. Like, these dudes can't handle a payday. Talking about they want to be the next Floyd. Yeah, not every fighter can do that, man. Shout out to Alfonso too, and Andrew Charles too, man. Yeah, everybody can't do that. I'm trying to let people realize that, because the way these fans talk, they'll try to make these fighters sound like they're mythical creatures. Like they're gonna go up 40 pounds and challenge this guy. Like, what if this guy would? You know how some fans try to come up with fantasy fights? Like, what if this guy would fight so and so? Like, what if Terence Crawford would fight Wilder? You know, stuff like that. They don't even know it, but if you name the right guy, he might actually fight a certain guy at another weight class. You got to actually name a certain guy, though. It can't be a guy who's not going to fight anybody. If you name a guy who's not going to fight anybody, you just messing up your own self. That's why a lot of these fans now, if you noticed it, they like to yell Terence Crawford name a lot. They'll say, oh, yeah, I just don't like him for this reason. Okay, but they're yelling his name. I'm telling you, I'm a Terence Crawford fan. They've been yelling his name entirely too much. The guy has not fought. He's been waiting on Earl Spence before that situation happened. They've been yelling his name every day. Canelo has his fight announced already. They still talking about Terence Crawford every day. Every day. No matter what he does now. All he did was beat Earl Spence. And all of a sudden, it's just the world turns a certain way now. Everything stopped for him. And now it's kind of like, okay, we need to figure out who he's fighting. Oh, he's fighting this person. Oh, is this guy good enough? Okay, who did Tszyu? You know, who did Tszyu fight? He fought this guy. Oh, he fought Tony Harrison. Maybe he can beat Terence Crawford. Let's see. These dudes coming up with game plans now. And you know what's funny? Terence Crawford fight whoever the fans put out there. The fans be like, I want to see Tszyu. He like, okay. That's what people don't even understand, but that's a story for another day. Terence Crawford, one of the only fighters right now that's actually fighting guys that the fans are actually recommending. Are we going to get to that conversation, or we don't want to get to that? Okay, I'll leave that alone then. That's too much. That's too deep. Okay. Yeah, that's too deep. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, Terence Crawford basically with the whole Tszyu situation, he's basically showing how things go in boxing right now. We don't have real superstars. I've been saying this already, but this year is going to prove it. I said last year, Mike Tyson, if he comes back, that will help prove it. Thank you, Mike, for coming back and helping prove my point. because now people ain't even talking about Munguia versus Canelo. And then Mike Tyson gonna make it worse. The fact that Canelo came out and said some little words toward Mike Tyson, oh, Mike Tyson gonna promote his fight even more. He might even do a little special thing the week of Canelo fight. Oh yeah, Mike gonna yeah, he's definitely gonna. People don't know who Mike Tyson is. They're gonna figure out though. Because people trying to speak on his business and stuff like that. That's why if y'all ain't noticed, Mike Tyson shut his podcast down recently. Everybody ain't noticed that? He put a video out a couple of days ago. Somebody, it's the last episode of his podcast. It's over with. Yeah, Mike about his business now, man. He see everybody else trying to get a check, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna see how that goes. That's why all these fighters, they better try to worry about, and Mike in Saudi Arabia too, just as well as the other guys. Mike done turned down Saudi Arabia money. So while all these guys talking about, oh yeah, Canelo making moves, he doing this, Mike in Saudi Arabia just as well. And last time I checked, he sold way more pay-per-views than Canelo did. 1.6 million, if I remember. Mike Tyson sold 1.6 million pay-per-views, and you got guys talking about Triple G versus Canelo 3. Man, who cares? Did it do 1.6? Did it do a million? Mike Tyson did 1.6 million during a shutdown with no audience, no crowd, nothing. And we got Terence Crawford out here carrying boxing, letting the fans decide his next fight. Come on, man. How's Canelo the face of boxing, and he get to choose whoever he want and pout about it? And we got to have Terence Crawford. He got to be treated at a high standard. Like, yeah, man, you got to fight Jerron Ennis or Tim Tszyu, man. If not, you're ducking. And he just fought a guy that everybody begged him to fight. What was the point of fighting Errol Spence? I don't see the point of him even fighting Errol Spence at this point. He fought Errol Spence so he could fight Tim Tszyu and Jerron Ennis. Why everybody went asking about Jerron Ennis and Tim Tszyu before he fought Spence? I'm pretty sure he could have fought Tim Tszyu or somebody before he fought Spence. Oh, okay. They wasn't asking about that. They didn't care. They didn't think he'll actually beat Spence. See, man, the lies in boxing, when guys be biased and try to push narratives, it's gonna catch up, man. Even with me, if I push a narrative on, it's gonna catch up to me. I can't run from it. But dudes be trying to hide from narratives, like, yeah, man, I try to keep it fair. Yeah, okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how fair you keep it. You better hope that Tim Tszyu don't beat Terence Crawford. Because I don't see nobody sending reinforcements. I don't see nobody talking about Errol Spence or nobody else in the gym right now. Or none of that. Just being 100. And fans don't want to acknowledge it, but it is what it is. It's okay. It is okay. Because they don't know it, but it's going to turn back into the days where you had just one guy trying to defend America in one division. I've seen it before. And the way 154 looking, bro, we don't have a solid 154. Well, I don't know. We don't have many solid 154s right now. Not that's active. You gotta think about it. They was finna get Thurman to fight Tim Tszyu. You had Fundora, Lubin. Those are two 154s. Now you got Terence Crawford moving up. Man, all this stuff will get flipped upside down real quick. That's what I'm saying, man. I just want to put this out there now because in the next couple of months, when things start to happen as far as these fights, you know, let's just say this. Tszyu can go out there and lose to a Terence Crawford, and he can still come out here and still wipe out everybody else in boxing. He can still lose 12-round fight to Terence Crawford and still wipe out everybody else for the next 10 years. It ain't like everybody. If he the type of guy who really gonna jump in the ring like that, like everybody should be scared. It ain't to the point where everybody just, yeah, man, you know, Terence Crawford beat him and he done. Nah, he ain't done. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of factors in this fight that's gonna happen. It's good for boxing. It's good for me too. Cause I see what's going on. People can't talk the same as they once used to. It goes to show right now. It's crazy that I had to listen to these people say Terence Crawford can't make a fight with nobody. Now he got a fight with Tszyu done already before Tszyu even hop in the ring with Fundora. Notice that now. Terence Crawford already done got the deal done before Fundora and Tszyu even hop in the ring. Now name another fighter out here that everybody jumping around for that would do that with Tszyu at 36 years old after beating Earl Spence and becoming undisputed. Nobody. None of these guys. And people really bragging about who the face of boxing is right now. Man, who cares? Like, if you think whoever is the face of boxing, I mean, okay. We're going to find out. Because from what I'm seeing right now, it's only one guy they asking to take tough fights right now. Everybody else is whoever they want to fight. I'm telling y'all that they don't know. They don't know how good Terence Crawford is. It just proves it. It really proves it. You know, he a smart guy. He understands that a lot of fans don't expect him to win or kind of do anything big. I don't know why, but that's exactly the way it is. He got it a little more worse than Mayweather. Because, you know, with Mayweather, they never questioned if he was good or not. With Terence Crawford, they still question if he good, if he duck guys. That's crazy. That's why I said already, though, man. The Spence fight, you know, people lied to me, bro. I ain't gonna go on a tirade, but people lied, man. There's a lot of fights that happened last year. Everybody talking about, yeah, those were big fights. Y'all said the Spence and Crawford fight was a big fight, but for some reason, y'all want to see Crawford fight other guys who y'all said ain't better than Spence. For some reason, Tszyu ain't better than Spence, but y'all want to see Crawford fight him. Jerron Ennis, they said ain't better than Spence, but they don't want how that's going. You know, Jerron Ennis ain't better than Spence, but y'all want to see Crawford fight him? Come on now. They just turn around and making up stuff now. They as we can see, bro, we don't have that much talent. All the guys that we need Terence Crawford to fight now are young guys who just got belts. If they lose to Terence Crawford right now today, most of the people will say, oh, that guy wasn't ready. But you're going to stick him in the ring with Terence Crawford, though. So, obviously, you're just emotional. You're just making an emotional decision right now because you want to see him lose. I understand, but I'm not the one who got to get in the ring, though. So, get one of these little guys beat up if you want to. Terence Crawford got kids that's almost grown now. This dude not finna be sitting around playing with these guys, man. Y'all can believe that if you want to. They like, yeah, Terence Crawford a young guy. Nah, man. This dude got kids who almost grown. Sit in there and play with him if you want to. Think that he just gonna jump in the ring with you and just try to have a sparring session. This dude ain't jabbing no more. He'll never throw another jab. He gonna throw some stuff that gonna get you out of there. That's why it's funny to me. I think it's gonna be the ultimate setup. I think the best case scenario is that Terence Crawford go in there beat Tszyu, and then everybody be like, man, Tszyu, you know, he got beat up bad. It's gonna be like a Mayweather and Canelo situation. How Canelo got beat up by Mayweather, but Canelo started beating everybody else up. It's gonna be just like that. Because as we can see, just because Terence Crawford beat up Earl Spence like that, that don't mean everybody else can. So like I said, think that Tszyu sweet if he get beat by Terence Crawford if you want to. That's gonna be a mistake as well. I done seen people do that a lot lately. Yeah, I'm the one who can witness that best because last year I said Canelo wasn't done. I heard everybody saying Canelo was done before he fought Charlo. Man, they said Canelo was done. I got proof. Canelo on decline. He's not the same. They said all this before he fought Charlo. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I like. A guy who's active and will fight anybody. Yes, sir. Exactly. That's what people don't understand. Tszyu always ready to go. This dude got fights coming in fast, and everybody worried about who somebody's ducking and stuff like that. Terence Crawford and Tszyu ain't trying to wait around. These fights that they got, it's gonna be good fights 10 years from now, 15 years from now. All these other fights guys putting together, they're not even good 12 months later. I hear a lot of people complaining about Tank versus Ryan Garcia fight last year. They begged everybody for that fight. Man, I'm trying to see Tank versus Ryan Garcia. Now everybody complaining how the fight was. Yeah, all right, man. But you know who A-side though. I don't know no American outside of Terence Crawford who accidentally jump in the ring with Tszyu. I asked everybody out here, hey man, do y'all know somebody besides Terence Crawford? I said, what about Jerron Ennis? Y'all think Jerron Ennis can get in there and do something with Tszyu? Nobody even want to answer the question. I'm like, all right, man, y'all just looking for somebody for Terence Crawford then. Because eventually, I don't know if y'all know, eventually Tszyu gonna have to fight Jerron Ennis. That's gonna eventually happen. Whether y'all like it, love it, hate it, it's gonna happen. So pick who you think gonna win now, or you're gonna have to do it later on. But that's exactly gonna happen. I got something coming up on that later on, but that fight was supposed to be put together. Yeah, I got something on that coming out later on. But yeah, I got definitely some information on that. But yeah, that fight was already supposed to be put together a long time ago. Yeah, them guys around the same age. While everybody worrying about Tszyu and Jerron Ennis fighting Crawford, yeah, they'll have to fight each other eventually. Everybody ain't focusing on that though. That's why I'm saying I look ahead very fast. I look ahead very fast. I got videos 5 or 6 months ago when I was talking about this already. This ain't nothing new for me. I knew what Tszyu was gonna do. I knew what Tszyu was gonna do already. I said Charlos ain't gonna fight him. Okay, then he gonna move on. And look now, he gonna fight Terence Crawford. But people gonna find out soon. But it's another thing I gotta talk about before I get up out of here. But this is very important because I broke this story before anybody did. Because I saw the interview today with Frank Martin, on the Cigar Talk. I seen a little bit of it the other day. I saw a little bit, but today I saw a lot of it. Man, when he was talking about that sparring match with Tank Davis, I told everybody on this page. I told everybody. So why did Frank Martin describe that sparring match the same way I did? And I've done probably like 5 or 6 videos on it the past 5-6 months. But why Frank Martin basically described everything I said about the sparring match between him and Tank Davis? I don't think people understand that. Frank Martin said everything I said about the sparring match with Tank Davis. I'm telling you, nobody can ever tell me they're a bigger Tank Davis fan than me. I told y'all I knew everything Tank did that day. The only thing I don't know Tank did was eat. I don't know what he ate, but I know what he did. He went in there in that sparring match. Oh, we don't need no tape. Oh no, we don't need no tape. That tape ain't never coming out. Nah, not from what I heard from what I heard Frank Martin say. He said the same thing I said. Frank Martin said the same thing I said about the sparring match against Tank Davis. Nobody on YouTube said that but me. Nobody on earth said that but me. I told y'all, and I know I don't got no insider, no source. I told y'all. Frank Martin said Tank Davis tried to take the gloves off and fight him in the middle of the ring after 3 or 4 rounds of sparring. What's up, Go? Shout out to Go Good too. Shout out to Go Good. 3 or 4 rounds of sparring. Tank tried to take the gloves off and fight this man. Frank Martin said he went off and changed his clothes. He come back. They interviewing him. Come on, man. I told y'all that already. I said all that. Go back to the lives I did. I did a whole live saying the real reason why Tank Davis is fighting Frank Martin. I said that, bro. Yeah, they're gonna have to give me my flowers on that one. If y'all hear me say that again, yeah, it's gonna be a reason. That's the story I broke. Look, I told y'all Frank Martin gave him that work that day. Tank Davis picked that fight. He's the reason why he's fighting Frank Martin. Nobody else. Tank Davis picked this fight. That's what everybody gotta realize. It's gonna be so much. It's so many layers to this. It's so many layers of this, and they don't like me explaining all this, anyways. You know, they don't like me explaining it, but it is what it is. It's already out there now. Frank Martin already put it out there. You know what's crazy? Frank Martin said it after I did my live. What, a week or 2 after that? Boom. And I said this a couple of months ago. And Frank Martin said he still want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Told everybody that last year too. Telling you, man, I only follow boxers who really want to smoke. But I already said that already though. Tank Davis been trying to fight this guy, Frank Martin. Frank Martin gave him that work in that sparring match. I told everybody that. They did not want to believe what I said. Frank Martin said, yeah, man, we was in there. Tank tried to take the gloves off and fight me without the gloves. Let me tell you something. It was 30 people up in there. It was 30 people in the room with Tank Davis. 30 people. 30 people in the room with Tank Davis. So basically, let's just say go good. Let's just say Frank Martin a liar. Let's just say Frank Martin a liar. Let's just say, yeah, Frank Martin lying about that. Mayweather was there that day. Frank Martin said Mayweather was there. He said Showtime was there. Them guys from Fight Hype was there. So all these guys seen the sparring match and they know the fight coming up. All these guys seen the fight. And we talking about camera crews and everything. All them guys seen the fight. Man, we know who won, man. We know who won. If Frank Martin lost, let's just say if Frank Martin lost, he wouldn't be getting no rematch right now. If Frank Martin lost, let's just say Frank Martin got knocked out in there. He wouldn't be getting no rematch right now. Let's just say Frank Martin got his head knocked off. How many people think that Frank Martin be getting a rematch right now against Tank Davis if he got beat up in sparring? You know what I'm saying? I know what happened. Frank Martin said everything I said. Somebody gonna have to prove that me and Frank Martin are liars. I don't know Frank Martin, never met him in my life. Don't know him, never DM'd him. I don't got no messages on no Instagram or no Twitter. I never talked to him. He said everything I said on my live. If you pull up cigar talk in my videos, he said the same exact things I said. Never met him before in my life. I know I've been watching Tank for 10 years. And I done heard everybody talk about all kind of sparring sessions, but I know they don't talk about that one. I'm like, oh man, they putting out Devin Haney sparring session, but I'm like, nah, I don't know about that, homie. I can't agree with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like my thing is, if you spar Frank Martin and it's on and the sparring match is on tape, why don't you put that out to promote the fight? That only makes sense. Man, hey, Frank Martin said some stuff on there, bro. Y'all need to go watch it. He said everything I said on there. Say he gave Tank that work. I heard a lot of guys come out and say some stuff. I ain't gonna speak on it because y'all know. Nah, y'all don't know, but man, I was talking about that sparring match for months and nobody brought it up. Now all of a sudden everybody reporting it now. So I kind of fell back a little bit. Oh, he can threaten to release it. Hey, he can threaten to release it. He can threaten to release it, but I don't think that's happening. I trust me. I done said about 100 things about Frank Martin. I ain't got one wrong yet. I was the one who said Frank Martin would fight Tank Davis for turning down the Shakur Stevenson fight. That's how I know. I'm like, I can't walk backwards on this one. Not with Frank Martin. Nah, he really want that smoke. And we gotta think about it. Bro, y'all need to hear how Frank Martin was, but Frank Martin hasn't been around. He hasn't been around. Oh yeah. Even let me just say this: if Tank did say he wanted to release the tape, he should have been released the tape. If he wanted to release the tape, he should have been released the tape. Because you know why? I was talking about the tape before Tank was. Huh. I won't get credit for that, but I was talking about the tape before he was. On the tape he was talking about was the only tape he was talking about was the Devin Haney tape. See, that's what everybody don't realize. He announced. So how you got a fight announced for Frank Martin. See, people don't even realize all that was just strategy. See, while y'all was worried about Devin Haney sparring match with Ryan Garcia, and I be getting in trouble for saying this too. They be messing with my live and everything when I be saying this. But while y'all was worried about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney not sparring match, but when Devin Haney put out the Tank Davis, not Devin Haney, but when Ryan Garcia put out the Devin Haney and Tank sparring match, that kind of took the attention away from Tank and Frank Martin fight announcement, and it took attention away from everything else that was going on. That's what people don't realize. Because if they would have announced that fight with all that Ryan Garcia and the sparring match and everything going on, everybody would have sat back and realized a lot more. Like, oh, they would have probably thought about the Frank Martin and Tank sparring match a lot sooner. But I guess he had to bring it up though. But I already knew why the fight got made. See, everybody trying to make the fight. See, that's what I'm saying. I did a whole live saying this. People don't want to talk about the reason why Tank fighting Frank Martin. See, everybody talking about Tank all day, every day. You got whole Instagram pages and Twitter pages dedicated to Tank, but nobody want to figure out why he fighting Frank Martin. That's cap, man. I'm telling you, boxing exposes itself every day. I don't care who you're a fan of. It don't matter who you're a fan of. It exposes itself every day. That man went out here and just said the same thing I said about the situation. It's a sparring match. These guys be trying to spar everybody. Went in there and sparred them. End up trying to fight him. Now he going back and forth. Frank Martin just said, man, I bet, man, you can put it on whatever. Put the tape out. He said, if Floyd got a tape of me getting beat up, put the tape out. Ain't nobody put no hands on me. Put the tape out. That's what Frank Martin just said just now. If you got a tape of me getting beat up, put it out. ASAP. He know what he did in the ring. And I'm co-signing all of it. And I've been doing it. Yeah, he can try to drop him, but from what I heard on the sparring match, he can't take a glove off in a real fight. I'm trying to figure out why he took his gloves off. Tank power is different. I don't want to get out here and dissect Tank real quick, but everybody Tank dropped, somebody else didn't drop. If we want to be real, do we want to be real about it? I don't want to go at Tank because that's one of my favorite fighters, but everybody who Tank dropped, somebody else didn't drop. Tank is not a shooting star. Everything Tank didn't drop, somebody else didn't drop. That's just the facts. I don't know if y'all used to play games back in the day, but before they used to have the names on the back of the jersey, that's how I look at these guys. Yeah, but the power the difference, but I don't. Everybody don't. You gotta think about it though. Look at Hector Garcia after he fought Tank. I don't want to go through his whole resume, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a real Tank fan. I don't want to go through his resume, but everybody Tank didn't drop, somebody else can drop. This Frank Martin fight is gonna be a difficult fight for him. He gonna have to rely on the power in this fight. Tank ain't gonna try. Tank's not even gonna try to win rounds in this fight. So as much as people can say, well, he gonna have to win by knockout before this fight even happened. Tank Davis gonna have to win by knockout. He's not gonna try to win rounds. He's not gonna sit there and jab and throw combinations. That's not how he fights. So he gonna have, and then Frank Martin already been in the ring with him. Then he already got under this man's skin. So you done got under his skin already. So it's gonna be worse in the fight. He gonna have something. Tank gonna have to prove himself in this fight. As much as I ain't like the fight as far as overall, because guys talking about how the top guys are ducking them, but I'm cool with this fight as far as the situation because I knew it was gonna happen. That sparring match was way more than what people realize. Cause I really gave Tank a pass, but I was gonna say make a video 2 or 3 months ago when I kept saying, because Tank was like, he felt bad because they put somebody put a sparring match out of Rolly getting knocked out or something. But man, every time I turn around, he talking about somebody's sparring match. So I'm like, man, what we gonna do? Are we talking about sparring matches or are we not? Like, I thought the code was not talking about sparring matches. But now we putting out sparring matches and stuff, so it's like it is what it is now at this point. So that's the only reason I started bringing it up. I'm like, everybody else talking about it. Y'all trying to make whole fights and pay-per-views off sparring matches, so let me talk about a sparring match. Yeah, but I think Frank Martin is yeah, I agree. But I think Frank Martin is a better overall fighter than a guy like Isaac Cruz as far as his chin and everything. I'm talking about as far as his chin and and everything else. Like Isaac Cruz, he can brawl, fighting the inside, speed, chin, power. I think he the closest thing to like Frank Martin. I think on one night, Frank Martin could probably do a little bit more than what he did. So he definitely got a chance. I'm telling you, he definitely got a chance. But I think Tank's one of those guys that when he get in the ring in a certain fight, he locks in a different way. Like the bigger the fight is, the more Tank is locked in. He look like he doing a whole bunch, but nah, he definitely gonna be locked in. It's gonna be a huge fight. It's definitely gonna be one to remember. But I already knew that Frank Martin had already said it. If y'all seen the interview on Cigar Talk, he said that he brought up the sparring match. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what if people have been talking about it lately, but he brought up the fact that Tank Davis didn't like what he was doing to him in the sparring match. Then Frank Martin said when he was leaving a day later, Mayweather called him back. So Mayweather seen what Frank Martin did to Tank Davis and called him back to the gym to train with him one-on-one. That's what everybody don't realize. Mayweather seen what Frank Martin did to Tank and say, hey man, come back, bro. We want to work with you one-on-one. Somebody got whooped. Like I said, I'm not going in there fighting no fights for Tank. Somebody got whooped. Somebody got whooped. Frank Martin said as soon as he got out the ring, they tried to break the fight up because Tank tried to fight him without the gloves and everything. And then Frank Martin went to go change the clothes. He came back because he thought he was gonna fight Tank without the gloves. And Fight Hype started interviewing him, whoever it was, allegedly. I don't know if it was Fight Hype, whoever it was. They started interviewing him, saying, hey man, we just seen a good sparring match between you and Tank Davis. Boom. When I told everybody that. You know when they're gonna start talking about this? They're gonna start talking about this when after they're gonna start breaking this up after Tank getting into the ring with Frank Martin and probably beat him. If he beat Frank Martin, they'll be like, yeah, man, you know, they had a tough sparring match. I don't think they're gonna talk about it too much before the fight happened. If they did, they would have brought it up already. Frank Martin brought it up, I guess before Tank could, or no, not before Tank could. I think he brought it up after Tank did. Yeah, he brought it up after Tank did. Because he said that Tank said that he'll do him like he did him in sparring again, and then Frank Martin was like, man, that's cap. He said that's big cap that Tank said that he dropped him in the ring or something like that, did him bad in the ring. I told people that already. Frank Martin got a good story too, man. He need to tell his story. He definitely got a good story. He said he met Earl Spence at a Ocampo fight. And a lot of other things, but yeah, he definitely the real deal, man. He definitely the real deal. He didn't came onto the scene. A lot of these guys been boxing all their life, talking about somebody ducking them. He trying to jump in the ring and fight now. That's why I respect him so much. See, guys like him and Tszyu, yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of those guys. They fight anybody. I ain't gotta sit up here and ask Frank Martin and Tszyu, hey man, can you take this 25%? Could you could you do this? Could you fight this guy? Nah, they just fight whoever. That's the type of fighters you got to follow behind. These other guys, they don't want to fight nobody, man. All these guys ain't built like that. I've been trying to say that. Tank trying to get some get back, bro. I'm telling you, Tank. Man, y'all don't know how these dudes think, man. These dudes they mind different. Y'all thinking about millions of dollars and all that. These dudes still regular guys. Tank still mad about a sparring match. Y'all think he fighting Frank Martin because he beat him up? No disrespect to nobody in here. Y'all know I got love for all y'all. I'm just asking y'all a question. I don't know everything. You know, Go Good making a lot of good points right now. Alfonso, he makes great points. But I'm just saying, y'all gotta know. Well, I don't know if y'all gotta know because I don't know all the way. But from what Frank Martin said, because I'm scared myself because I ain't know Frank Martin was gonna say everything I said. Because I only seen like a couple of minutes of the interview the other day when I made the video, but for him to say the exact same stuff I said about the sparring match, yeah, that's pretty scary. Not gonna lie. Nah, Tank tried to fight without the gloves. Frank Martin went to go change his clothes and was gonna fight him outside, but they had already left. They wasn't gonna spar again. They was gonna fist fight. He said when he came back, he thought he was gonna fight Tank. But then they started interviewing him. So for him to get interviewed like it's game 7, I'm sitting there like, he must have had a very good performance. And I said that a couple of weeks ago. Why was these guys interviewing Frank Martin like he just beat up Tank Davis or something? That's what kind of like threw me off. If they was already sparring, why would you try to take the gloves off if you Tank Davis? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, that's how Tank Davis, that's how he tick. He definitely. And the scary part is, and I'm gonna be real with you, as much as I like Frank Martin, I know Tank Davis a lot more than I know Frank Martin. But I got a pretty much of an idea how much, Frank Martin, he really about that. But Tank Davis, man, he show up on those days, man, where the lights is on, he gonna show up. So it's definitely gonna be a situation. But I will say that Frank Martin has the edge because by the time they fight, Tank Davis gonna be 14 months out since he fought Ryan Garcia. He hasn't fought since Ryan Garcia fight, and that's been 14 months. So that's a long time. That's a very long time. He might get gassed out. I don't know. I don't know what his stamina is gonna be like. Most of the time he in shape, so I don't feel like he's gonna be lacking none. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna try to embarrass him on TV. It's something that happened in that sparring match though. It's something that definitely happened. Cause Tank, he's not gonna spar. He's not gonna fight a guy who he sparred already if it wasn't a classic fight. And I heard it was only like 3 rounds, so it wasn't really a long fight, honestly. Yeah, Frank Martin, he really thinking like, I'm gonna go in there beat Tank and possibly fight a guy like Shakur Stevenson next. I'm telling you, man, these guys at 135, I said it last year. Bro, these guys like Frank Martin and all these guys, like while we worrying about Devin Haney and all the other people, man, they end up getting a win against somebody like Tank or somebody. That'd be crazy, man. These guys keep playing if they want to. See, Frank Martin, all his people, You know, his people probably doing well, but they ain't no millionaires like how everybody else is. So, you know, people coming there to eat, man. They ain't trying to be just coming there to make a name for themselves. Nah, it's way bigger than that. So it's definitely gonna be a big year for a lot of guys right now. Yeah, but that has a storyline behind it. That's a real rivalry. But I'm just surprised though that Tank Davis don't really go at Frank Martin that much though. He'll bring up Devin Haney's sparring match, but he's still thinking more about Frank Martin's sparring match from what I see, because as soon as the Frank Martin fight gets signed, now he bringing up the sparring match. And I'm like, he ain't never brought it up before. All the other times he ain't never brought up the sparring match. But now, as soon as Frank Martin signs the contract, he brings up the sparring match. Man, Frank Martin co-signed everything I said. He said he got to work on Tank. Tried to fight him with the gloves and without the gloves. And tried to fight him outside. Tank Davis ain't never explained all that. That would, I'm telling y'all, keep trying to get the truth. If we get all these facts from Tank, it ain't gonna be good. Oh yeah, both of them are gonna be in shape. They both in tip-top shape. They're gonna be in shape. They're gonna be in elite shape. The fight so far out, you know, most of the time Tank don't announce his fights this far out. You know what I'm saying? Not like this fight this fight was about 3 months out. He's known about the fight probably 4 months. So yeah, Tank gonna be in great shape. He gonna be in great shape. Trust me. But yeah, he asked for this though. He asked for this fight. That's what everybody. I just want to get this out there. I'm not trying to embarrass Tank or nothing like that. Like Tank is sparring everybody. What's embarrassing about sparring everybody in the game? A guy like Tank. If you want to fight everybody, I mean, ain't nothing embarrassing about that. You fighting everybody. You just had a hiccup with Frank Martin and you trying to finish it in the ring. Cool. But I just want everybody to realize that it's other sparring matches besides Devin Haney that's a little more interesting. See, the Devin Haney sparring match, it was cool to everybody. I know they saw it and they thought it was amazing. You know, even though Devin Haney didn't throw one punch. But this Frank Martin sparring match, for some reason in my mind, I knew it was a lot better than that. Because I actually seen that whole Devin Haney Tank sparring match already years ago. But this Frank Martin one, never seen that one before. That's the one I need to see. Now, the crazy thing is, if Frank Martin and Tank Davis go out there and fight and we never see that sparring match they had, that'll be even crazier. But I highly doubt that Tank will be going out there fighting a guy that he beat up in sparring already, if it wasn't a close fight. Now, if people want to believe that, and you're gonna pay pay-per-view for a guy that Tank beat up in sparring, that's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work. We can't pay for guys that people beating up in sparring, so he definitely got beat up. If you pay for this fight, you gotta admit that Tank got beat up. Oh no, it ain't my side. I'm not saying that go good. I'm just saying, if Tank sparred Frank Martin, right? If Tank went in there and beat up Frank Martin, knocked him out and everything, and he want us to pay $80 on pay-per-view to watch that, he's out of his mind. So if that's what he's telling me, so now it's gonna be bad for him. If he go out there and say, "Yeah, man, I knocked Frank Martin out." Oh, you did? Oh, you want me to pay $80 to watch you knock Frank Martin out again? Oh no, sir. No. So he better admit that. That's what I'm saying. I'm a good lawyer. I'm not a real lawyer, but I'm a good one. If I wanted to be, hey, he better not do that. He better not do that. Telling you, that'll hurt your legacy, brother. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not somebody you can just push a fight in front of, and I know what's going on. They tell me to learn boxing. I don't know boxing. Don't be a casual. Okay, I'm gonna prove you I'm not a casual. Let me prove to you I'm not a casual. He better not try to give me a pay-per-view of a guy he just knocked out. If he's telling me he knocked out Frank Martin and he want to put that on pay-per-view for $100 in the middle of the summer when everybody's going to vacation and cruises and amusement parks, and he want me to sit in the house and play $100 to see him watch out a guy he just sparred and knocked down the sparring, let him do that if he want to. I'll get my money back on these lives. I'll do about it. Let him do that if he want to. See, everybody want to be a fan of somebody. Yeah, be a fan if you want to, but you gonna go down the fire with him. You will crash and burn with him. He fighting sparring partners now, and we giving passes about that. Then he talking about he knocked the guy out. Nah, homie. I wish you would make me pay $100 for that. See how I can flip that real quick. See, I'm trying to. He better hope that Frank Martin beat him up in sparring. At this point, see how nasty you can get real quick. That's why I say dudes need to just tell the truth, man. All that trying to promote a fight and all the other stuff, don't let stuff go left. Real talk. For real. That's why I like Terence Crawford. He don't talk that much. He just signed the fight, and he just let it go. See, I don't got to sit up here and go back and forth about what Terence Crawford got going on because everybody already know. He fighting Tszyu. That's what y'all asked for. Terence Crawford, the only guy who will fight who the fans ask for. The fans say, hey, I want you to fight this guy. Okay. Even though y'all didn't say Tszyu before, Errol Spence, yeah, I'll fight him. Oh, that Jerron Ennis guy? Oh, yeah, I'll fight him next if you want me to. Okay. Even though they just became champions, yeah, I'll fight them. These young guys, yeah, I'll fight them. Even though ain't nobody else doing it, I'll do it. But Tank better hope that Frank Martin is beat him up in sparring. If everybody gonna tell me that Frank Martin got beat up by Tank in sparring, and this the guy Tank want to fight, bro, y'all got to give me my money in my chat. Real talk. Y'all robbing me. Everybody robbing me. Y'all got me watching Tank fight guys for $100 that's getting beat up in sparring. So is that what everybody telling me? I'm gonna prove that everybody lying about this. That's how I'm gonna prove it. Anytime somebody say, yeah, I think Frank Martin got beat up by Tank. Okay, so Tank he fighting guys on pay-per-view that he beat up in sparring. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Bud versus Tszyu. Oh, excellent. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's up, Jeremiah? Shout out to Jeremiah, man. I'm gonna tell you what I said about that. If Tszyu beat Bud Crawford, it's a wrap for everybody in boxing. Y'all can try to send Jerron Ennis out to save the day like Captain America if you want to. It's gonna be a wrap. If Tszyu beat Terence Crawford, it's over with. Cause y'all ain't gonna try to dust off Spence and Charlo by then. It's gonna be over with. So y'all better hope that Bud Crawford say today, because I don't see y'all pushing nobody else out there to fight Tszyu at 154, even though Terence Crawford is not a 154. But even if Terence Crawford, even if he beat him, it'll still be tough for a lot of guys to beat Tszyu. It might be a situation like Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. Like I said, Canelo, even though he lost to Floyd every round, Canelo lost every round to Floyd, and dude still can't beat Canelo. So it's not like if Tszyu can lose every round and he can still wash everybody. That's what I said. That's the good thing about boxing. That's the good thing about boxing. But yeah, it's an excellent fight, Jeremiah. I'm a huge fan of Tszyu and Terence Crawford. But you know what's sad though? The only guys who's putting the tough fights together is guys I actually root for. You know what I'm saying? My favorite fighters got to fight each other because everybody else scared. Everybody else talking about, oh yeah, this guy sells this many pay-per-views, but my favorite fighters, they got to fight each other because everybody else too scared. That's what's really going on. it's sad that Tszyu and Terence Crawford got to do this, but everybody else won't do it. But it just goes to show that a lot of attention is going towards Terence Crawford. He definitely needs it, because for him to be 36 years old and have to prove himself, basically they putting Terence Crawford on the same level as. Yeah, I thought about it too, man. I think Fandora going down, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You said 5? I had it like round 9. But yeah, I think Fandora going down. I think he is. Yeah, I said the same thing. I thought it was gonna look good. I seen in that Lubin fight. If you look at that Lubin fight, Lubin was getting some shots off, man, that Tszyu can definitely get off early in the fight. I don't like Fandora doing a lot of leaning too. If he could add the jab in there, he'll have a better chance. He definitely has a chance, but I'm saying he'll have a better chance if he can jab a little bit more, but he leans a little bit too much. And Tszyu, he throws some mean punches, man. I'm telling you, people gonna realize how good Tszyu hands is. How people start to realize how Benavidez had good hands the last fight with Andre? They're like, man, he got some fast hands. Yeah, watch when Tszyu gets in the ring with Fandora. They're gonna realize how fast his hands is. Tszyu got some hands. He don't waste no punches. It's gonna be a very good fight. And then these guys don't clinch or nothing like that either. It's gonna be a very good fight, man. You right about that. But the Bud and Tszyu, I feel like that's gonna be a good fight. I don't know when that's gonna be. It might be in July, I guess, if I had to think about it. If I had to think about it, that fight probably be in July. Most likely. But yeah, all that height look good on paper, and I definitely like Fandora. I feel like Fandora gonna come in there and he gonna come to fight now. He's not gonna lay down. Like, it's gonna be a better fight with him in there. And Fandora has a chin. And we have to realize this too. I think Brian Mendoza has a lot more one punch knockout power than Tszyu does. I think Tszyu has the like the accumulation of punches, like the damaging. He can damage you a lot more. Oh, he's a beast. Oh yeah, he a problem. He looked just like Tank, man. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, yeah, man, they trying to get somebody like Tank, but I'm not gonna lie. I seen him boxing. I said, man, that kid look like Tank. Then I realized it was him. I was like, yeah, he do look like Tank. Yeah, he definitely boxed like Tank. I feel like he a lot better at that age, though. I'm not gonna lie. I seen him the last fight he had when he punched the guy. I gotta do a video on him too. He fight this weekend. But the last kid he fought, he was actually good. But man, he knocked the guy out going to the body with a body punch. So yeah, he a beast. I definitely feel like he gonna be a beast. He got a while to grow a little bit, but I feel like he matured a lot faster than a lot of these other guys. Yeah, he good. Yeah, Zoo excellent at getting guys out of there when they hurt. Man, when guys be getting hurt, man, I'm talking about Tszyu when he hits guys on the chin, he'll literally just stand there and wait to punch you on the chin one time. I think he did that with Tony Harrison. He stood there, and when Tony Harrison did something, he hit him on the chin. And he did that with Brian Mendoza too. I think it was like in the 6th round where he hit Mendoza on the chin. Yeah, Tszyu's a beast, man. He can literally knock you out on the spot or buzz you if you want to. But I feel like Camille Moten, though, he gonna be a beast though. As far at his age right now, a lot of guys don't really move the way he moves. He boxes. The way he put his punches to the body. Him and Abdullah Mason, they gonna be a problem. They gonna be like Shakur and Devin Haney almost. They gonna be a problem though. Yeah, I know. That's what Jeremiah was saying. He said he might go down in the 5th round. I'm like, I can see the 5th round. You know what I'm saying? I was saying that too. I said I might go up in the rounds, like to the 5th round or something, instead of the 9th round. But I can see Fandora going to the whole 12 round. Yeah, the Pedraza fight was fast for him though. You know, he's only been active probably like 3 years. So him fight Pedraza, that was pretty fast for him. He moving fast right now. Keyshawn moving fast right now. He got a lot of options right now. You remember last year Keyshawn was trying to fight Frank Martin last year. Keyshawn was trying to fight Frank Martin. Then they start bringing up and that kid Jaleel Hackett they just brought up. I mean, Jeremiah just said Jaleel Hackett. Man, you remember Keyshawn was calling out Jaleel Hackett, Floyd Schofield. Man, all these guys. Yeah, Jaleel Hackett the beast too, man. I got to do a video on him. I forgot about him. Yeah, Fandora's a beast. If you look at that Mendoza fight, he was beating the crap out of Mendoza. But if you look at that, what's the other fight he had? The Lubin fight. The Lubin fight was good. He took a lot of punches in that Lubin fight. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to figure out in that Lubin fight if Tszyu, I know he could probably put the same punches that Lubin had, but as far as the power, I don't know if his power is as powerful as Lubin is. Lubin got a lot of power. Because I know Fandora took a lot of power punches from Lubin. He got buzzed like 6 times in that fight. Yeah, Fandora got buzzed a lot in that fight. Yeah, Jaleel Hackett a beast though. Yeah, it's still a lot of young talent out of there. I forgot about Jaleel Hackett. There's still a lot of young talent out there. That's why I'm saying these guys, they better get ready. I told people last year, I made a video about it. Tszyu, he's just the first of these young guys. Like him, Benavidez, Devin Haney, all these young guys they're trying to take over now. They're not trying to wait till they're 30 years old. They're trying to fight these guys now. That's why in a minute, it's gonna be like the NBA. You know how the NBA is super young now? That's how boxing's gonna be in a minute. You're gonna have a lot of guys. Tank's gonna be the oldest guy in a minute. You know, they look at Tank like the old guy now. He's only like 29. Think about it. At 135, I think Frank Martin and Tank is like around 29 years old. So they're like the older guys of the weight class. I know Lomachenko's up there and some of the guys they have left. I think Andy Cruz is like 27, 28. So yeah, they definitely have a lot of young guys around those weight classes right now. They got to make some things happen. But I think Keyshawn, he's going to be the one that's going to lead in that class though, because he's making so many moves right now. Yeah, they definitely in their prime. They better make something happen. Hey, it's a good time to be a boxing fan right now. You ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is sit back and just watch. Because all these guys they're going to have hard fights. That's why not Keyshawn, but Shakur Stevenson right now, he's trying to think about who he's going to fight next. Because he knows, like, let's just say if this fight isn't someone who's tough, that next fight is going to be a very tough fighter. So he has to figure out some things. It's definitely getting close around that weight class though. But Frank Martin and Keyshawn Davis, those are 2 guys who've been trying to fight everybody. I know Frank Martin tried to fight Zepeda, Tank Davis, and Keyshawn Davis. I mean, not Keyshawn Davis, but Keyshawn Davis, but Shakur Stevenson. And still wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. So I definitely feel like a lot of these guys who really want to fight people, we're going to find out this year. We're going to find out this year. If Frank Martin goes 12 rounds with Tank Davis and doesn't get knocked out, people going to want to see him in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. I already know it. It's gonna be the same situation like it was with Eastside Cruz. See, people forget, but Eastside Cruz was supposed to be the replacement for Rolly Romero, I think. I think Rolly had pulled out of the fight or something. And then Eastside Cruz came into the picture. Everybody said Eastside Cruz was a bum and everything else. Then he went 12 rounds with Tank. I feel like it's going to be the same situation. It's going to be the same kind of situation. Yeah, he be sparring so much, man. I had to think about it. I was like, man, why he get so much experience? He spars so much. And he don't spar a lot of guys. Tank don't spar a lot of guys who's like just amateurs. He spar a lot of guys who's pros. You know what I'm saying? He's seen a lot of styles, so he definitely can adjust a lot. As far as certain styles, though, you know, like Mexican styles and American style, I feel like with an Eastern European style, like Lomachenko, I feel like that's a lot more difficult for him, though. He have been in the ring with guys like that. Even Frank Martin tell you that. You know, when you find those Eastern European guys, it's a lot more difficult than it is to fight a guy from America. They fight different. That's why a lot of times people think that Americans lose to guys from Europe because of the talent and stuff like that. But no, the style is just a lot more difficult to fight. It's hard to kind of dissect a guy like Bitter Bill's style or somebody like that. Even a guy like Triple G. But I definitely feel like these next couple of months, we're going to find out who's really the top guys in boxing. Because a lot of these guys, they can't really sit around a year without fighting. That's why Tank Davis starting to realize now, oh, man. And people got to realize Tank Davis just took 14 months off in the middle of his prime. Tank Davis in his prime right now. So every day he don't fight, that's not a good thing. He should be fighting at least like 3 or 4 times this year. And then this year might be Canelo's last year in his prime. So now we got 2 of the guys who's supposed to be the face of boxing. And we might not get the best fight we can out of them at they, you know what I'm saying? This might be Tank prime year. He might start decline after this year. I don't know. Who knows? Everybody don't age the same. No, he never had a belt. He did fight 2 top 10 guys last year. So he was gonna get a opportunity at a belt anyways. He's a top contender anyway, so he's gonna get an opportunity. That's why most of the guys that Frank Martin was calling out was guys who were either champions or top contenders. That's why when he called out, not called out, but he tried to fight Shakur Stevenson with a contract. That didn't work. Then he tried to fight William Zepeda. Then Oscar De La Hoya told Frank Martin to fight Shakur Stevenson. If he beats Shakur Stevenson, then he can fight William Zepeda. Then that's what Frank Martin said. I'll just fight Tank Davis then. And then everybody was like, that ain't gonna happen. Then now he fighting Tank Davis. So that's what really happened. But Frank Martin, he was gonna get a chance at a belt anyways because he's a top contender. I think he's like number 1 in one of those weight sanctioning bodies. If he's not, he's like number 2. But yeah, I think he's one of the only guys at 135 that actually fought two top 10 guys last year. If I'm not mistaken. I think Shakur Stevenson did too, but that was a guy he was gonna fight anyways. But I think Frank Martin the only guy because Loma fought one time. Devin fought once at 135. Ryan fought one time against Tank. Then Tank fought one time. Yeah, so Frank Martin, he one of the only guys that fought twice against a top 10 guy. So he had to get a chance at a belt. Nobody else trying to do anything. I said it last year. See, we get kind of confused by the mega fights and not by the guys who's really trying to fight everybody who's a top guy. You know what I'm saying? Because Michelle Rivera, he just beat Sergey Lipinets at 140. And that's Frank Martin's biggest win at 135. So he definitely putting together a resume. And we got to realize he just started getting on the scene. So he's fighting everybody now. He's not waiting around. He about to fight Tank Davis. Like, we don't know, like, everybody don't know how ready he is for Tank Davis. That's how fast Frank Martin is moving right now. Like, I can say, I don't know how much he's ready. You know what I'm saying? I know he's fought him before, but I don't know how much he is as far as being prepared. I can't really tell anybody. But I know from the history he's put out there, yeah, he know what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. But Frank Martin actually proves that it's not hard for guys to move up and get certain fights if they really want to put the fight together. That's what he really shows. Him and Tszyu. That's the whole point of my live, really, is for everybody to realize that young guys like Frank Martin and Tszyu, who just came onto the scene, they can fight a couple of top 10 guys and fight a guy like Terence Crawford and Tank Davis the next year. They're not doing anything special. They're not clout chasing. They're not tweeting anybody. They're not doing no Instagram posts. They're not going back and forth with no dudes. They getting in the ring, fighting who they need to fight, getting up out of the ring, doing basically what everybody else doing, except they putting on the fights that they need to put on. Outside of Tszyu versus Terence Crawford and Frank Martin versus Tank Davis, you can't find no bigger fights than that. I mean, people that say Canelo versus Munguia, but like I said, nobody gonna cancel their vacation to watch Canelo versus Munguia. It's just not gonna happen. Benavidez versus Munguia. I mean, Benavidez versus Canelo. Yeah, you'll definitely cancel a vacation, but not Munguia versus Canelo. Not right now. If he would have had a better fight, his last fight against somebody, probably. But it didn't move the needle like that. More people are interested in Mike Tyson anyways. So that goes to show things ain't really happening like that in boxing. But I think it's gonna be a good fight. This a big year, man. People don't understand. Like, we got like 4 fights coming on this week. Actually 5. It's gonna be 1 fight coming on tomorrow, 2 fights Friday, then 2 fights Saturday. So it's a lot of stuff coming on. Then you got Devin Haney coming up. Lomachenko finna fight soon. So you're gonna have Lomachenko, Canelo, and Tyson Fury and all these guys fighting the same month, in the month of May. Everybody not gonna be able to sell a pay-per-view this year. That's why they stacking this Tank Davis card up, because they know pay-per-view gonna be hard to sell. Everybody trying to do pay-per-view now. Canelo, Tank. Then you got the Mike Tyson thing coming around. It's gonna be hard to do that. But it's gonna be easy with this storyline they got coming out. We're gonna hear more information about Tank Davis and Frank Martin soon. It's definitely gonna be something they need to push out there, because this is a real rivalry. We don't know much about it because Frank Martin's not a guy who really talks a lot, but from what I've heard him say, he said that him and Tank got a lot of history. He's worked with Floyd Mayweather before. After him and Tank fought, Floyd wanted to work with him a lot more. So that's a lot of things we need to hear about. But it's kind of funny how people don't really mention how Frank Martin was around like that. We hear about other stories about sparring matches with guys, but that's definitely a sparring match we got to hear about. They created this whole fight off of that one sparring match. So what happened in the sparring match to where Tank Davis want to fight this guy now? That's a real good question, man. I'm telling you. You can ask that question 50 times. You're going to come with an amazing answer, because it's all over the place right now. I just know Frank Martin just got $1 million payday, basically because he sparred Tank Davis a year or 2 ago, which is pretty wild to me. I don't even think it was a year or 2 ago. It probably was 3 years ago. But just because he sparred Tank Davis and and he basically beat him up. I know a lot of people said he didn't beat him up. It's kind of hard that he'll. What you mean, 18 verse 29? It's about the age. Yeah, I'm ready to see some of these fights come up though. They got a lot of them coming up, man. I think this card this weekend gonna be loaded. I don't know. 18 verse 29. I don't know what that means. Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what goes on this weekend as far as this fight because we got a lot of things going on as far as with Tszyu. A lot of people can get to see what Tszyu's made of this weekend. A lot of people never seen him fight before, really. I'm telling y'all right now, Tszyu has combinations with his hands like how Benavidez does. The way he can kind of place his punches and how he's accurate, doesn't waste a lot of punches. He's definitely like that. That's why I feel like Pandora is going to have some trouble because when he's throwing those combinations with those long arms, Tszyu's going to look for one punch to clip his chin with. If you go back and look at Tszyu's fights with Mendoza and Harrison, he'll just look for that one punch to hit you in the chin with. And as soon as he sees that you buzzed or you kind of your legs kind of go limp, he'll try to go for the knockout. He's a very smart fighter. He doesn't waste any time. Doesn't waste any energy. He's not really breathing hard throughout the fight. He's a very good fighter. He gonna bring a lot to the table, trust me. He definitely gonna bring a lot to the table. But you never know, man. Pandora can go out there and make something happen. Real talk. Pandora can make something happen. Pandora really is a beast like that. Yeah, give me the answer, Go Good. What the answer is? Yeah, shout out to Go Good, man. $5 in the super chat, man. Shout out to Go Good. Yeah, appreciate it to Go Good, man. Always supporting. But yeah, if Spence go, I mean not Spence, man. Let's do it. But if Frank Martin actually goes in there and gives Tank Davis trouble though, man, that'll do a lot for boxing, man. Not for him just to knock out Tank Davis, but if he gives him trouble, I feel like people gonna ask for the number of fights. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. I know that for sure. Oh yeah, I know that for sure. I thought you were talking about age. I don't know why I thought about. Oh yeah, I know that for sure. Oh yeah, Frank Martin. His experience, the Tank Davis experience. Yeah, that's why it kind of, to be honest with you, and everybody know this. Tank Davis done fought a lot of Frank Martins in his career. You know what I'm saying? That's where he kind of has an edge as far as, because that's even in the neighborhood. In the neighborhood, you know, it's a lot of guys that can throw some hands and got some power. So yeah, it's definitely yeah, Tank Davis definitely knows how to attack a guy like Frank Martin. I feel like the rivalry gonna be the best thing about it though. I know a lot of people said they wanted Tank Davis to fight an American guy and all that stuff, but the fact that he has history with him and it's not some kind of history where it's on his side, I definitely feel like that's a good advantage with Tank Davis for the fight to be on his side as far as the experience and everything else. You know what I'm saying? He definitely been in the ring with the guy. But the experience it's gonna be a huge factor. And I'll tell you another thing too. I was looking at that fight with like Tank early fights when he was fighting Liam Walsh and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. You know, Tank, he fight great in the spotlight, man. That's one thing you gotta realize. Like a lot of these guys, they don't really show up and fight in the spotlight like that. That's why with Tank, he's a star because every fight he shows up and put on a great performance. You see a lot of these guys lately, I ain't gonna call no names, but as soon as they get in the spotlight, they'll have 1 or 2 bad performances. Then people say they ain't really that good. So it's not easy for Tank to go out there and put on a great performance like he does every time. Cause I seen other guys, they struggle against mid-level guys. So I definitely feel like Tank definitely has an advantage as far as just overall experience. Because to be honest with you, what I've learned over the last couple of months, Tank Davis got a lot of similarities to a guy like Canelo. I'm talking about him and Canelo will spar anybody. That's one thing I've learned about them. Like we think that Canelo and Tank Davis have sparred a lot of people, but they sparred a lot of people. A lot of people. Like a lot of people didn't know that Devin Haney sparred Tank, or that Frank Martin or Shakur Stevenson. You know, Tank sparred Sean Porter. He spars everybody. I'm talking about he spars everyone. So that's a lot of things that these guys do. It's an advantage because they've seen every style. So that's why when Canelo got in the ring with Charlo, he's like, oh, I already know what kind of style he has. I'm used to sparring against that style. So let me kind of tap into my side where, yeah, it is at this point right now. That's what I feel like too. I feel like to be honest with you, I haven't seen Tank really fight at his full. Like even in the Eastside Cruz fight, I felt like he was just hurt. I didn't really feel like he was trying to go all out. He was on the ropes a lot in that fight. I haven't really seen Tank really go all out in the fight in a long time, man. To be honest with you, he looked like he was trying to take Devin Haney head off more in that sparring than he had in any recent fight. I feel like Tank he don't really press the gas like that in certain fights. He'll pick his shots and knock you out in a certain round, but he's not going to try to wear himself out trying to chase a knockout for 12 rounds. But against somebody like Frank Martin, we might see a different guy. That's why people got to realize this is a different kind of fight. We might see a different kind of Tank Davis. The fact that he's fighting a guy like Frank Martin, this might be the best situation. This might be actually better than him fighting. I don't want to say that because people think I sound crazy, but this might be better than him fighting certain guys he's been calling out, because this is a guy he actually feels like try to beat him up in sparring. You know what I'm saying? And like just got history behind it. It's a very good way to go out in the summer, especially at this time in his career. He needs something like this. And to be honest with you, he's been out 14 months. So for him to take a fight like this, I gotta give him a little bit of credit, because most guys who've been out 14 months, they wouldn't do something like that as far as a fight like this against a top contender. So I would have to give him credit like that. But something had to happen though. And I'm glad that a lot of this stuff coming together, because Tank Davis definitely has a lot of attention on him right now. That weight class is getting flooded right now. It's a lot of people in that weight class. We don't even know if guys. I know guys like Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz, Eastside Cruz, they can still make 135. So it's kind of hard for these guys to really, a guy like Tank, to try not to fight certain people and just try to stick to fighting Frank Martin. Because the Frank Martin fight is good, but if the fight's close and people say, oh man, Tank, you know, you won the fight, but man, Frank Martin was giving you problems in there. He gonna try to do a rematch, and then that'll hold up a lot of other things. So it's good for now, but it can always get worse at a certain point. But it's definitely a close fight. I feel like this fight right here is kind of what we need as far as rivalries. Something with a story behind it. Even though Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fought back in the day, it wouldn't be the same as these guys. These guys were never really friends or anything like that. And from what I've heard lately, you know, Frank Martin's a different kind of guy than some of these other guys. So he'll kind of go back and forth with a guy like Tank as far as, like he said, he want to see Tank Davis put out the sparring tape. And it's crazy how everybody been saying that lately, but you know, Tank Davis didn't put out the last tape, so I can't say. For some reason, I kept thinking that Tank Davis put out the tape with him and Devin Haney, but that was somebody else. That wasn't him and Ryan Garcia. Well, that was Ryan Garcia, but it wasn't him and Ryan Garcia. Yeah, they did an excellent job in the sparring though, but with as far as Tank, he did an excellent job as far as the one in Devin Haney, but I gotta see the one with Frank Martin, man. Man, y'all gotta see that Frank Martin interview, man. I'm telling you. Go see that Frank Martin interview on Cigar Talk when he was talking about Tank Davis sparring match, and then go back and look at every Frank Martin video I ever put out. If y'all want to see if I'm legit or not, and then look at the date I put the video out. It might say 2023 on it. Man, you gotta check that out. Man, bro, you know, go good. You been in here already, so when you see Frank Martin talk, it gonna sound like I said. Well, basically, it's everything I said on the video. I said, "Wow, sound like I talk to Frank Martin every day. I never even talked to the guy before." I learned a lot in that video though. He hasn't known Earl Spence a long time. He met Earl Spence at the Campo fight. So think about that. He hasn't even been around that long. He met him at the Ocampo fight. Oh yeah, he definitely a wild card, Jeremiah. He definitely a wild card. He's definitely a wild card. He's definitely a wild card. He's tricky because so far he's done everything he said he was gonna do. That's why I'm trying to tell people, like, bro, you gotta believe a guy until he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? He's done everything he said he was gonna do. He said, I tried to make the fight with Shakur Stevenson. I wanted more money. I tried to make the fight with this guy. Everybody said he wasn't trying to. Now he's making the fight with Tank Davis, and he's kind of shutting everything down right now. You know, at this point right now, if you can go 12 rounds with Tank, you kind of can be the guy right now, to be honest with you. You know, Eastside Cruz went 12 rounds with Tank Davis, and, you know, he's kind of like 2 fights away from being a pay-per-view star. If he can go out there and knock out Rolly and win another fight, yeah, Eastside Cruz will be on pay-per-view soon, be headliner. So Frank Martin can definitely make a name for himself. Oh yeah, he's very straightforward. He's very straightforward. And you know what's crazy? He said everything I said about the Shakur Stevenson deal not getting done. He said that he wanted more money and that the situation wasn't really what was good for him. And if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, they should have paid him more money. It kind of hurt Shakur Stevenson not paying Frank Martin the money that he would have made, because the fight didn't turn out well with him and De Los Santos. De Los Santos really ain't go out there and do nothing. And I told people that Frank Martin would have did a lot better job in that fight with Shakur Stevenson, but they thought he was ducking. But now he's definitely not ducking though. Yeah, he's very honest though. about everything. He had a very good interview with Cigar Talk. He dropped a lot of good information in there, in that interview. But mostly, I didn't know that he was working with Mayweather. I think he said he started working with Spence at the Ocampo fight. He met him, so he started working with him after that. Just a lot of different things were going on. It makes sense though. Yeah, what's crazy is though they said Frank Martin was ducking, but he might end up with one of the best resumes at 135. If he go out there and fight Tank and Shakur Stevenson, he'll definitely shut up a lot of people. And he could fight Shakur Stevenson even with a loss. If he go out there and go 12 rounds with Tank Davis, it ain't gonna be the end of the world for him. Yeah, but Frank Martin he's smart about it though. He's smart about it. I knew with him having Earl Spence, a big fight would happen. Because with them knowing that he could have fought Shakur Stevenson, I knew he was gonna have a chance at Tank Davis. Because I knew about the sparring match. I'm telling you, I've been thinking about the sparring match since last year. I've been thinking about the sparring match since last year. As soon as I seen the Frank Martin get an interview about the sparring match, I said, man, I think they're gonna fight one day. That's exactly what I said. And in the back of my mind, I always thought they was gonna fight. And that was the reason why. That's why I created a channel, man. If I wouldn't have said it on a video, it'll look like I'll be lying right now. It definitely sounds like clickbait, even though I still got a video about it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He a household name now. He a household name now. You know why? Because nobody can come up with a reason why these other guys haven't gotten the ring with Tank yet. That's the good thing about Tim Tszyu and that's a good thing about Tim Tszyu and Frank Martin. When everybody say, yeah, man, this guy's ducking my favorite fighter. I don't know what your favorite fighter's doing. I don't know whose promoter is, but I know Frank Martin and Tim Tszyu finna fight some top guys right now. That's what I don't understand. You got a lot of guys jumping from top rank to the zone and PBC, but from what I seen, most of these guys right now is fighting on PBC mostly. The guys with the mega fights, like Tim Tszyu. See, everybody don't know it. Tim Tszyu's on PBC right now. So people like the zone, top rank got them somewhat of a guy like Tim Tszyu. I mean, you could throw Xander Zayas in there. He decent. He ain't beat no big names yet, but trust me, he decent. But they ain't got no guys running around for real like Tim Tszyu right now. So that's a problem for a lot of people. If they don't get Terence Crawford to shut this guy down, and Frank Martin, if somebody like Frank Martin or Tim Tszyu gets a win, it's gonna be bad news for everybody. If Frank Martin and Tim Tszyu can go out there and get a win, man, it's gonna be bad news, man. Yeah, ain't undefeated. No games being played right now. These guys ain't got no losses. Exactly. Can't study anything for them right now. It's gonna cause a lot of trouble for people in the next couple of months. I already see what Tim's man. I'm telling you, if Terence Crawford can't stop this guy, if I hear somebody bring up Charlo's name as far as Tim Tszyu, that's gonna show me everything I need to know. We done ran out of people to basically face Tim Tszyu. Because I haven't heard people say Jerron Ennis versus Tim Tszyu. That kind of worries me a little bit. Because if I say I believe that Tszyu could have some trouble with Jerron Ennis, it don't sound like everybody believe that right now. So that's why I'm kind of like, man, let's kind of just leave Jerron Ennis out of the conversation right now. If we're not going to include him with everybody. No, sir. Nah, man. Jerron Ennis fight at 47 just like Terence Crawford do. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if people people saying that Jerron Ennis that good. The way I'm looking at it is like this. People say that Jerron Ennis can wash Terence Crawford right now. So Jerron Ennis should be able to go wash a guy like Tszyu right now. That's the way I feel like. That's the way I feel like. If Jerron Ennis that good to where he smashes Terence Crawford, I feel like Jerron Ennis should be able to compete with him. That's what everybody's saying. It's gonna be a day where they're gonna have to figure out that though. That's why I'm saying, like, one day we got to figure out who's the best between those two guys. It's gonna eventually happen. Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I wanted to. That's what. To be honest with you, that's what PBC actually trying to do. PBC gonna do it. I'm gonna do a video about that later on. PBC tried to do. You know how they try to put the same guys on the same card, then they had them fight later on. They tried to do that with Jerron Ennis and Tszyu, but it'll be a while before they get it done. That fight might not happen for like 2 years, maybe a year, 2 years. I feel like it can happen. I mean, besides Terence Crawford, can't really find nobody for Jerron Ennis. You got Mario Barrios and these guys, but you know, if Terence Crawford retired right now, it sounds like to me that Tszyu wouldn't or Jerron Ennis wouldn't have a fight wouldn't have somebody to fight right now. So they definitely need each other more than anything. It might be like a Canelo Triple G situation, where Triple G didn't have a lot of big names around in his weight class. I guess Canelo wanting to go up and have that type of fight. That's what can happen. But I feel like Jerron Ennis definitely is in the driver's seat with a lot of this stuff. He just got to sit back and basically wait on what he needs. Yeah, that fight was actually supposed to happen this weekend. Yep, that was the fight that was going to happen. That messed everything up. It's a couple of things that messed up some big fights for us. We done lost a couple of big fights already. Ennis versus Barrios is a big fight. That would have been a big fight. Yeah, it's a couple of big fights that got messed up already. That's why you got guys like Munguia and Tszyu stepping into the picture, because a lot of guys, the older guys, they're not really available right now. So you got to have Canelo. You know, it used to be to the point where people wanted to fight Canelo, but now it's like the only guys that want to fight Canelo is Crawford and Benavidez. And then with Terence Crawford, the only people that want to fight him is the young guys. So he's just fighting the young guys, Tszyu and Jerron Ennis. But Tank, he's in a situation now where he got to fight a lot of guys, because it was a lot of people that wasn't even thinking about Frank Martin. So imagine Tank got to fight Frank Martin, then all the other guys at 135. There's a lot of people that don't put together certain fights either. Yeah. Yeah, Ennis athleticism is a lot better than Yeah, he's getting better too. It'll still be a close fight. You know, Barrios a dog, man. It's a tough fight. But yeah, I definitely have interest in that fight though. Yeah, I feel like people are sleeping on Barrios though. I mean, Barrios, he didn't get credit for the Tank Davis fight until most people seen him beat Ugas, but I always knew he was a decent guy, a decent fighter. He really fights anybody. That's another guy who really helps boxing. A guy like Barrios, he fights anybody in boxing. He's the only guy you know that'll fight Deron Ennis right now. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Deron Ennis, but it's a lot of stuff going on between Deron Ennis and Barrios, so that fight being held up kind of hurt things. It's all good though. Oh yeah, he definitely he a beast. Yeah, he a problem. He fights anybody. Tank Davis, Keith Thurman, Deron Ennis. Yeah, he's ready to fight anybody. Yeah, he one of my favorite fighters. Yeah, I like to watch people who fight anybody. He definitely does. He's a problem. But I don't feel like these guys can actually hang with even with Barrios. He really can't hang with a guy like Tszyu at 54. But a guy like Ennis, I think he can. He can give some kind of issues, but that'll be a tough fight for him, man. It's a lot of things that happen to these guys in certain weight classes. It's just not easy to kind of it's not easy to jump from weight class to weight class with certain people. We was talking about that earlier. Everybody can't jump weight classes. Everybody can't jump from certain weight classes and just try to dominate. That is definitely difficult to do. Yeah, Ugas, man. Yeah, I didn't think ain't that crazy. I didn't think Ugas had. Yeah, man, I'm surprised, man. Cause wasn't that the last time Ugas fought? I'm trying to think. Did Ugas decline or what? Cause Ugas had the. Oh, he got eye issues. Wow, that's what that was. I hope he didn't get that from Spence. Every time Spence fights somebody, their eyes end up messing up. Man, they got a lot of fights coming on this weekend. Oh, you did? I was watching it this week. It was in the theater, wasn't it? It was in the theater. Yeah, he be tagging the odds, man. That's why I say everybody thinks Spence an easy fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, come on, man. But he's sitting out a long time. See, that's what people got confused, man. They think Terence Crawford just gonna look normal against certain people. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I seen it. They had it in Vegas at that theater. I forgot what it was. I don't know how that fight popped up last night. Who was on that card? Somebody else was on that card. Oh, that wasn't that oh, I'm glad Go Good said that. Hey, Go Good. Wasn't Fandora versus what was it Fandora versus Lubin on that card? Yeah, that crowd control crazy. You remember that Lubin versus Pandora fight? Man, they were throwing some heat in that fight, man. Yeah, that fight was on that yeah, that Lubin versus Pandora was on that Ugas versus Spence card. Yeah, that tall dude, yeah. Yeah, he was a beast. Man, he's a problem. You gotta watch him. Go back and watch that fight. It looked like Lubin had a horn on his nose. He looked like a dinosaur with that thing on his nose. Like a unicorn. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, I almost knocked him out. Yeah, if you haven't watched that fight, go back and look at that. That was a good fight, man. Yeah, Fandora's a beast though. I feel like he definitely can let his hands fly in this fight. Yeah, he a good fighter, man. I was gonna try to go to the fight this weekend, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I might just stay home and call the fight. That Fandora, I mean that I think that Crawford and Tszyu fight, that'll be in Las Vegas, I guess. That'll be a good fight to go to in Vegas. Yeah, Fandora's a problem though. Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Oh, it was in Texas. Oh, I don't know why I'm tripping. Okay. I don't know why I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting on Spence to come back though. Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm thinking about another fight then. It was at Arlington. Yeah, I'm waiting on Spence to come back, man. A lot of people trying to sleep on him. That's what I'm saying, man. We trying to paint it like Crawford can't do a lot of people a certain way. I feel like Spence was just out a lot too, man. And certain guys can't really fight in the summer like that. I really believe in that. I don't care what nobody say. Have you been in combat sports before? It's easier to lose weight and stuff like that in the winter time than it is in the summertime. Being weight drained in the heat, man, that's bro, y'all don't even know. It could be 100 degrees outside. You feel like it's 50 degrees because of the heat. Just a shock. Your body going to a shock. But yeah, it's definitely that definitely was a good fight though. Yeah, Spence be tagging dudes' eyes, man. He did Kell Brook like that. I know they said Triple G had already messed up the eye, but he did the other eye like that. That's what people don't realize. Spence has a lot of power. Oh yeah. Garcia was Garcia a little better at 54 though. Garcia got more power at 54. Oh, you talking about to Mikey? Cause he fought Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia. He put in that work in that Danny Garcia fight though. That was a tough fight too. Yeah, Spence been in some hard fights though. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he's been in some hard fights. I can't lie about that. Spence definitely be going in. He put in a lot of work. Go good. I want to see him fight a little bit more. It's kind of messed up though. I know Charlo probably knew he was gonna get that. Yeah, man. I think Charlo knew he was gonna get that. That Spence tried to get that Canelo fight. As soon as that didn't happen, he kind of slid in and got the fight. That's crazy. That's a whole nother story for another day, though. I don't want to get into that. Oh yeah. Well, I think he was he was a lot bigger than that. Nah, Spence was a lot bigger than that. I think he was kind of like how Terence Crawford is now. I think Terence Crawford got a little more clout than Boots does now, just by a little bit. I think once Boots has another main event fight, it'll be like how Spence was. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's still going on though. Oh, that's still going on. Go good. They don't want Terence Crawford and Boots to fight nobody but Tim Tszyu right now. That's still going on. That's my whole point about all this stuff I'm saying. They just want Terence Crawford, Boots, and Jerron Ennis to fight each other. They don't want to get nobody no shot. They want those guys to find each other in the 154 division. They're like, yeah, let's get Boots, Tim Tszyu, Terence Crawford, have all those guys fight each other. Then by the time Jerron Ennis and Tim Tszyu done fighting each other, all the other young guys, they'll start fighting each other like Munguia and Canelo are doing right now. That's what they really waiting on. But the fans, they're not gonna give them credit for that though. Oh no, they definitely don't. Not right now. In Vegas, not right now in Vegas and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's why I said fans kind of moving too fast on that. If they try to draw a crowd right now, it'll be bad. It'll look like one of those UFC crowds. Yeah, I know. That's why I was thinking that Xander Zayas was gonna fight. But I guess they thought he's moving a little too fast right now. Him and Tim Tszyu moving pretty fast right now, 154. I think eventually Xander Zayas, Jerron Ennis, Tim Tszyu, they'll all be around the same weight class. And you got to realize Tim Tszyu little brother, he ain't that young either. I think he fight at 154. Tim Tszyu younger brother, he ain't that old either. He got some hands as well. He definitely got some hands. While people worry about Tim Tszyu, he got a little brother that can fight just as well. So dudes better watch out. So while Tim Tszyu at 160, his little brother gonna be at 154. And then this is after, and just realize this. If Tim Tszyu beats Terence Crawford, that's gonna make it worse for everybody. Cause then they're gonna say, oh, Tim Tszyu got a little brother too that can beat y'all. Man, it's gonna go bad, bro. That's why I'm saying Tim Tszyu trying to take over America right now. I mean, I got no problem with it. Whatever he keep, he earn. I heard whatever you catch, you eat. So that's what's going on right now. That's what people don't realize. It's real serious right now. Tszyu and his little brother might take over these 160 and 54. Then from 68, 75, it's gonna be Benavidez. I said it last year. From 54 to 60, it's gonna be Tszyu. 68, 75, gonna be Benavidez. That's how it's gonna be. They're gonna take over these weight classes in a minute. These older guys, they can try to wait it out if they want to, but it's not gonna work. These guys are going for the the biggest check possible as far as, and they know the only way it can happen is making a fight. Tszyu wouldn't be in this position right now if he wasn't fighting guys like Tony Harris and stuff like that last year. It's a different ball game now. It's a different level now. A lot of people starting to realize that now. That's why a lot of people hid behind the fact that, oh, we got guys like Earl Spence as a star and Charlo. That's why I told people, when you don't have those guys around, you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I've come to find this out. A lot of it is because they know it makes money. You know, it's kind of hard for me to get on here and say the stuff I be saying. I get a lot of backlash for saying the stuff I say. The only reason people leave me alone now is because they come to find out that I'm not clickbaiting. But when I was saying all this stuff about Frank Martin last year and Tszyu, people said I was clickbaiting. And they said I was trying to chase views. I was trying to chase views on clickbaiting and stuff like that. A lot of the fans that don't know boxing, they kind of heard it. So let's just say a YouTuber knows boxing and most of the fans don't. They'll start saying that he doesn't know boxing if he says a certain guy will lose or something like that. And a lot of guys get bad information. Like the only information I actually put on this channel that's wrong is the stuff that came from like Canelo them. Like the stuff that Canelo's people was putting out last month about all the Charlo and Benavidez stuff. That's when I started putting out bad information. So a lot of channels get bad information from people too. So, but a lot of people want to be biased because that's what gets them money. If they get on here and say that Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Canelo's the best thing ever, or Tank, then fans will be like, yeah, and then they'll just start sending money. So that's why a lot of times they do it. It pays. It pays to lie in this world. Nobody pays for the truth anymore. That's what really goes down. Nobody pays for the truth. And I don't really say anything that kind of hurt Tank. I'm actually selling tickets right now for Tank. I'm actually selling pay-per-views for Tank right now. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, at some point right now, everybody's gonna not like Devin because he's not like anything we've seen before. You know, he's a guy who fights a lot of people, so that tends to happen, man. I'm okay with people not liking Devin Haney, but when they don't support a guy like Lomachenko, when they think he won against Devin Haney, that's when I kind of get confused. That's when I know it's Devin Haney hate, when I see that, when I say, man, why y'all don't like, you know, Lomachenko got a fight coming up. You know, I said Lomachenko was gonna fight Kambosos, what, like last October, September. I been knew that fight was gonna happen. People didn't care. They don't care about Lomachenko. They just care about Devin Haney losing. And a lot of people only care about Tank because he's connected to Floyd Mayweather. That's the only reason they like Tank. They like, oh, Tank's with Floyd Mayweather. Bro, Devin Haney was with Floyd Mayweather before Tank was even around. They don't even know that though. Whoever Floyd Mayweather co-signs, that's who they like. That's all it is. A lot of people, they didn't like Adrian Bronner until Floyd Mayweather start hanging around with him. As soon as he started hanging with Floyd Mayweather, that's when everybody became a super Adrian Broner fan. Just being honest. A lot of these men, they love following whoever Floyd likes for some reason. It's kind of weird. And I'm a bigger Floyd fan than all these guys, but even Floyd knows these guys are weird. Yeah, that's why I put the video out I put out Go Good. That's why Go Good. That's why I even brought up the that's why I brought up the Frank Martin sparring, because that's why I brought up the Frank Martin sparring, because when I seen that, I was like, is anybody gonna talk about Frank Martin sparring versus Tank? I think that's a bigger deal than, because you gotta understand, Frank Martin, he's not, I mean, Tank Davis is not fighting Devin Haney right now. He's fighting Frank Martin. And you sparred Devin Haney and you sparred Frank Martin. So in my eyes, I would want to spar the guy who I had the most trouble with. I would want to fight the guy who I had the most trouble with in sparring. And the fact that he's picking Frank Martin, it says a lot about what he really thinks. Tank Davis, he actually thinks the way I know he thinks. He actually does. I actually thought Tank Davis was crazy enough to fight a guy who beat him in sparring or gave him a hard time in sparring, and that's what he's doing. He's going to give the guy who he had trouble with in sparring millions of dollars to fight him for 30 minutes in a ring on television. So he definitely has some trouble. Yeah, they definitely do that. Yeah, they definitely do that. They definitely do it. It's a lot of these guys haven't really known about Tank lately. You got to realize, like, by the time they found out about Tank Davis, we've been watching Tank Davis 5 or 6 years already. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much. If you start, I can't brag about a guy like Tank Davis for 10 years. Just me being a natural guy. I've known about him for 10 years. I'm not going to be up here like, yeah, Tank Davis can do this. I mean, we already know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been 10 years he's been fighting. And the fact that we got the Frank Martin situation happening, that's kind of explains why I don't really get extremely excited. I give Tank Davis the amount of praise that he should receive. I don't try to go overboard with it or anything like that, because the resume he has, if his name was anybody else, we wouldn't make a big deal about his resume. I'm just being honest. If his name was I don't know, Joseph Jackson or something like that, nobody would care about what Tank Davis' resume is. His resume isn't anything special. I've been telling people that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the Devin Haney thing. It's too much, man. To be honest with you, a lot of guys, they don't know about boxing. Just to be honest with you. That's where a lot of this stuff about Bill Haney comes up. Like, Bill Haney's, he's not the first boxing dad that talk like that. They got more guys in boxing as dad, who's people that dad who talk worse than Bill Haney does. It's just these guys don't know about boxing, so to argue about something, they'll bring up Devin Haney's dad. If you'll be like, hey, yeah, what happened to the Tank in that one fight he had? They won't know, so they'll be like, yeah, but Bill Haney, you know, he caused problems. It has nothing to do with boxing. I'm just telling you, that's what these guys do. It has nothing to do with boxing. Most of the stuff they argue about, it ain't about the fight, man. It's about some personal stuff. As soon as I bring up a sparring match about Frank Martin, I done seen 1,000 people come through my videos asking about the Frank Martin sparring match, and nobody want to say anything. Nobody brings it up. They argue about somebody on Twitter all day. But you got a dude right here who explaining everything. They don't want to really face the fact about it because they know what's going on. Trust me, they know. Trust me, they know. They little team, one of their team members would have jumped in here already, like, oh, this dude clout chasing. If I'm clout chasing, trust me. The best thing for these guys to do is leave me alone as far as information, because I don't want to be a guy accused of being a clout chaser or clickbait and I gotta prove myself, because when I prove myself, that's gonna expose everybody. So I hope one day none of these boxers ever retweet me or try to embarrass me because I put out some information, because when I start to explain why I have the information, it's gonna go left. Yeah, people don't exactly, bro. Terence Crawford, my favorite fighter for years, bro. Years. I barely talk about Terence Crawford on here because he's not fighting right now. It ain't nothing to really put out like that. I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? What I didn't like about other channels was I used to hate when a fight was coming up and I didn't know the fight was coming up because they talking about something else. So that's one thing. I like to do stuff that used to bother me about other channels. You know what I'm saying? I already know about Tank. It's only so much you could talk about with Tank, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's time to figure out somebody else. Like on this channel right here, I talked about Frank Martin. I talked about Tszyu. To be honest with you, I'm the guy on YouTube that told everybody that Tszyu wasn't gonna fight, that Charlo wasn't gonna fight Tszyu ever in life. Not in this life or the next one. I had already knew that. And this is around the time where everybody said that Charlo was better than Crawford. I appreciate that. Go good. Yeah, man, I be trying hard, bro. I be trying not to be unbiased. I be wanting to be biased so bad. Yeah, I just keep it real though. But oh, appreciate that, bro. Hey, appreciate that, man. You already know, man. Appreciate that. I be messing up a lot. If y'all hear something clipping a lot, they be messing with my live, man. I don't know. I can't help that. But yeah, appreciate that, bro. Yeah, but it's been a long time since they actually. Oh yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just be wanting everybody to understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff I actually be saying, it be breaking news, bro. Like let me tell you, go good. I just broke the news. Now let me tell you, I'm telling you right now. I just said Anthony Joshua next 2 fights. It's March 2024 right now, right? I just said Anthony Joshua next 2 fights on my channel. Everybody think it's clickbait right now. Wait another 6 months, and you're gonna hear about Anthony Joshua fighting Daniel Dubois and Tyson Fury next year. Same thing, man. It's been going on, man. I've been telling everybody that Charlo was gonna take a seat for the rest of the year, for a whole year. I knew all this stuff was gonna go on. So if everybody, like the way these guys is put together, they wasn't gonna go out there. Like imagine if Charlo would have beat Canelo. He wouldn't have been fighting nobody right now. Imagine if Spence would have beat Crawford. He wouldn't be fighting nobody right now. So people got to realize when we talking about certain fighters who ducking people, we got to realize who we talking about, man. We talking about guys who 36, 37 years old trying to fight everybody. I appreciate that. Go good. Shout out to Go Good, man. For real. Shout out to Go Good. Go Good being here with me all the time. Go Good, Brain Food. My dog Jeremiah being here. Yeah, shout out to Jeremiah too, man. Yeah, shout out to Go Good, man. For real. Appreciate that. Go Good. But yeah, they gotta figure out though. But boxing gonna actually figure itself out this year. I'm telling you. Like Mike Tyson, that Mike Tyson fight, it's a stupid idea, but it's looking at it now, it's a very smart idea. It's gonna show all these guys that when they talk about pay-per-view sales and everything. I mean, in boxing, man, they gotta start getting away from that. I saw Ryan Garcia said something about that today. They said fans is exposing themselves when they bringing up pay-per-view sales. They said Ryan Garcia said the fans that bring up pay-per-view sales is killing boxing. That's why the big fights don't happen, because y'all bringing up pay-per-view sales. Ryan Garcia just said that today. I don't even know if I want to put that tweet out. Cause he retweeting people, you know what I'm saying? They gonna think I'm taking shots or something, but he's saying that pay-per-view sales is killing boxing right now. Shout out to Go Good too, man, for real. That's my dog. For real, for real. That's what I'm saying right now. If you don't have a guy like Tank actually in the game, right now, we actually waiting on Tank. I feel like the boxing game right there trying to milk guys like Tank, Canelo. They trying to do it with Benavidez too, because at this point they kind of happy they know he'll fight anybody. They're like, yeah, he'll fight anybody. So let's just try to match him up with somebody else. That Bibble or Bitterbill fight. Let's see what happens with that. See, they happy about that. I noticed something else too. When I announced that Benavidez said he'll go back to 168 in September, oh, they ain't like to hear that. They said Benavidez going back to 168 in September. Oh, no. We don't want Benavidez around. Let's get rid of him. Y'all see what's going on now? Oh, shout out to Brain Food, man. See, I knew Brain Food was around here. Yeah, shout out to Brain Food. I gotta make me a Discord too. I'm supposed to be making a Discord right now. I'm trying to make a Discord before tomorrow though. Supposed to be trying to make one. I forgot who said something about the Discord. Y'all know it was a while ago. Yeah, shout out to Brain Food, man. And Go Good. Those definitely my guys right there. But yeah, I'm actually waiting on these fights tomorrow. I'm gonna actually do that fight tomorrow with Joseph Adorno and Nicholas Walters. I mean, it is on YouTube, so everybody gonna be able to watch it. So I'll probably do a live fight breakdown for it. I think it's gonna be a good fight, honestly. Thinking about it now, I really think it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a lot of fights on this weekend. Y'all gonna watch all the fights this weekend? Oscar Valdez. I think they have 2 fights Friday. And then I think they have 2 fights Saturday too. It's gonna be a lot of fights going on. Yeah, shout out to Go Good and Brain Food, man. These guys definitely be helping me out during the live stream. Yeah, y'all be the only ones. Yeah, y'all be helping me out, man. Y'all help me push out these facts. I think in a couple of months they'll realize that we be talking about the truth over here. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get the truth out, man. So you guys definitely be helping me out, man. Y'all don't know it, but it definitely helps out a lot. Yeah, they don't like when I tell the truth about certain things in boxing, because as we can see now, I wasn't lying about Tszyu. I wasn't lying about Tszyu. Tszyu's the guy right now. He's at the top of the game right now. And I told people a couple of months ago, hey, we need to do something about this Tszyu guy. He's trying to fight everybody. And people's like, nah, he's not really doing anything. I said, okay. Now we need Terence Crawford to save us. I told you, man. I don't like that. I feel like people who put us in this position, they should try to fight us out of this battle. If they put us in this situation, they got to fight the battle themselves. I don't like Terence Crawford having to come to 154 and fight guys that Charlo was supposed to fight 2 years ago. This Tszyu thing could have been settled a long time ago. But now he's becoming like a Godzilla. He's running through the whole division. Now we got to get 147s. So Thurman's a 147. Fundora, he's a 54. But you know, people say he's coming off a loss against Mendoza not too long ago. Not his last fight, but against Mendoza not too long ago. But at the same time, man, that's still a hard fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. We're gonna have to choose very soon. But these next couple of months, I'm telling you guys, from now until the end of the summer, every week's gonna be important because a lot of these fights can end up in Saudi Arabia, especially like with Zordo and these other guys. They can have unification or undisputed fights down the line. It's definitely something that Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya could basically do. But it all depends. I don't feel like Eddie Hearn's trying to leave Saudi Arabia anytime soon, so it's something that can definitely happen, trust me. Without him having to get any other people. Oh, he definitely got to move up. Yeah, they were ducking him last year though. I reported that last year. They've been ducking him. If it's not right now, they trying to fool everybody. They trying to make it seem like, yeah, Boots is good enough for Crawford and Tszyu. I mean, he is, but they gonna try to make it seem like if Boots don't fight Terence Crawford or Tszyu, then he ain't good enough to fight nobody. Nah, y'all can't do that. No, they trying to have Tszyu and Terence Crawford and Boots have a little mini tournament while everybody else sit at the couch at home and get an easy paycheck. That's exactly what the plan is. As soon as Tszyu and Terence Crawford done, they're gonna throw Jerron Ennis in there. Jerron Ennis supposed to fight Tszyu down the line though. But I think Jerron Ennis, he got more fighters at. It's too many guys at 140. I don't think he gonna wait on them guys at 140, so he might go up to 54. Those are better fights for him at 154. If he can do that, then I feel like Jerron Ennis definitely can make something happen. But these next 4 or 5 years though, Jerron Ennis, Tszyu, I'll throw Xander Zayas in there too with David Benavidez. All them guys gonna be all right. They're gonna have a spot in the game as far as in boxing. These other guys who not trying to fight nobody right now, they're trying to wait around, they're gonna have some trouble. Because in a minute they're gonna have to go to guys like Boots and Tszyu for the big fight. These older guys, they starting to lead the game. So I told people last year, they was like, nah, Tszyu ain't gonna be the big fight in a minute. I said, okay. And now, if he can get him a Terence Crawford win, he's definitely the guy. If Boots can get a win over anybody that's top 5, he gonna be the guy as well. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, that might be the toughest fight for Tank so far. From what I seen, man. You seen that? Hey, you seen that interview from that Frank Martin did on that cigar talk? You saw the cigar talk interview Frank Martin did? Man. Frank Martin was telling some stuff on that, boy. He definitely is. That's no question now. After what I heard today, yeah. Man. I can't believe he said everything, bro. He said everything I said on my videos, man. That was kind of scary to look at, wasn't it? He was dead serious, too. You seen it in his eyes, bro. He was like, I can't believe he said, yeah, man, he a dog, boy. He a dog. Can't even deny it, man. He a dog. He is really, really about that life, man. He different. I don't see nobody messing with Frank right now. And then he said, like, this is what I said, Newt. I said if he go 12 rounds with Tank like Esau Cruz did, and he can still kind of, even if he take a loss, he can still be that guy. Eastside Cruz, he's still decent right now. So I can definitely see Frank Martin jumping in there with Shakur Stevenson. That'll be a good fight, man. He said he still want to fight Shakur Stevenson too. I ain't finished the interview, but I heard that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to do. So he definitely a dog, man. We need more people like that. That's why I'm cool with a Frank Martin and a Tszyu. They want to fight everybody. That's what we want over here, bro. That's definitely what we want. I told everybody that already. That's why people still rock with Tyson like that. I ain't gonna lie. I think one of these. I'm glad you said that. I'm not. From what I know, it was his next fight was gonna be a top guy. It was gonna be something like Tank or Shakur. That was gonna end up being a mandatory or something eventually. But I think the mandatory for him, I think Frank Martin was behind Williams Zepeda though. I think Williams Zepeda was. I think he was in there with Tank and Lomachenko. So Williams Zepeda had two guys. I think it was like Lomachenko and I think Tank. I'm not sure. All right, bro, you good? All right, shout out to Go Good, man. Yeah, you definitely good, Go Good. Yeah, but Frank Martin, he was trying to fight Tank. Well, Frank Martin, at first he tried to fight Shakur, then Williams Zepeda, then Tank Davis. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody talking about Frank Martin, he finding all the smoke right now. That's why I'm glad I said that last year, bro. Because I'm like, man, it look like Frank Martin and Tszyu trying to fight somebody. And we don't know them guys like that. Not to the point we like how we know Tank or somebody. But yeah, he a dog for real. Like Newt said, he a dog for real. Facts. Frank Martin is really a dog. See, Newt, no. See, Newton is saying he know what a dog look like. Somebody who really like that, he definitely knows. See, everybody don't know that. I'm glad Frank Martin put that out there. He been quiet for a long time. That's how you know Frank Martin really ain't no guy who jump on the internet. He ain't really said nothing a couple of years, in like a year. Nah, not to the level we looking for. Nah, not at a super high level. Nah, I don't think so either. Not at a super high level. But I'm gonna tell you though, he definitely got some hands though. He got some hands. I ain't gonna lie to you. He got some hands. I hope, bro. I hope so, bro. I was telling people earlier. If it don't go like that, and Tszyu end up winning, man, that'll make it look so bad. We'll have to get Jerron Ennis on him. But PBC tried to get Jerron Ennis to fight. Not to get him to fight, but they want him and Tszyu to fight eventually. They was gonna see them on this card that's coming up this Saturday, but Barrios, he ain't fighting. Barrios got some situations going on, so he ain't gonna fight Jerron Ennis. They was gonna fight this weekend though. I think it was gonna be for a belt too. But now they're trying to have Jerron Ennis fight somebody else for a mandatory. So they messing up a lot of stuff right now. Yeah, but everybody don't realize it, but Terence Crawford, he get to another level, man. But you know what crazy news? I was telling people this though. Crawford was in a situation, not Crawford, but Mayweather was in a situation where you remember how he did Canelo when he won every round against Canelo? He can still kind of do Tszyu like that, and Tszyu still can be a problem. Oh, I definitely got Pitbull. I got Pitbull for sure. Yeah, I got Pitbull. The only reason I got Pitbull is because I don't know if Rolly gonna be disciplined like that the whole fight. I definitely got Pitbull. I know he definitely gonna show up. Hey, you know, Rolly don't do good with that aggressive style. You know, Pitbull, he fight similar like that old man does. Barroso, he definitely fights kind of like that old man. He got that aggressive style. You know, Rolly don't really like that kind of style. He's okay with a guy who can really sit back and fight off the back foot, but he doesn't like those aggressive style guys. I definitely got Pitbull on that fight. Yeah. Yeah, Rolly don't like that Mexican style, man. I got Pitbull in this one. Yeah, I definitely think Pitbull gonna make it happen. He gonna be, and to be honest with you, I think he'll be in better shape. And Pitbull, he been fighting some decent guys lately, so I feel like he'll be ready. Rolly ain't fought in like a year, so he gonna have some trouble. He gonna be winded. It's been a long time since he fought. Pitbull gonna be in a lot better shape as far as and timing and everything. So I'll definitely get an edge to Pitbull. But Rolly, he got a chance. You know, Rolly got a nice right hand, man. Rolly is definitely not an easy fight. He can definitely knock somebody out with a right hand. It's gonna be a good fight this weekend, though. Man, it's gonna be so, bro. This boxing season gonna be so crazy. Man, you know what I mean? Hey, Newt, they got a fight coming on tomorrow. Then they got 2 fights coming on Friday. Then they got 2 fights coming on Saturday. I know Zordo fight Saturday and Tszyu versus Fandora Saturday. They got 5 fights on this week. It's gonna be a lot of fights coming on. Then I think Richardson Hitchens fights next week. Then you know Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is in what, like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And then in May, bro, Tszyu, Canelo, and Tyson Fury fights in May. I think somebody else does too. I think Josh Taylor fight in May too. So they're gonna have Josh Taylor, Tyson Fury, Lomachenko, and Canelo. So it's gonna be loaded. These next 2 months of boxing. Oh yeah, it's gonna be real. Yeah, I'm waiting for all those fights. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be better than last year. See, people thought last year was good. It's gonna be way better than last year. We didn't have a lot of fights in the summer during last year. I know we had Spence and Crawford, but that was like, I think like July, end of July. So this year we're gonna have fights all through June, July. Yeah, it's gonna be on point this year, Nuke. I definitely can't wait. I think this the week that's gonna start everything too. I definitely believe that. You're right about that. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was. The Canelo one was cool. I feel like the undercard could have been a lot better, but it was straight. Nah, the Canelo undercard was good. I didn't like the Crawford undercard that much. It was all right. Yeah, that was definitely a good fight though. I can't wait to this fight this weekend. I'm trying to see how they gonna do it. I never seen it on Amazon Prime. It's gonna be kind of different how they had a fight on Amazon Prime around this time. Yeah, it's gonna change a lot though. A lot of these cards are stacked, man. I'm talking about from top to bottom. These gonna be some of the most stacked cards we done had in years. They're gonna have like 5 or 6 good fights on this weekend. I think this might be one of the best weekends for boxing in the last couple of months. Yeah, I definitely see some changes coming. But I'm glad they're announcing these fights like they're supposed to, because it's a lot of boxers, man, not gonna make it after this year. If guys don't get into action this year, it's gonna be a lot of young guys that's gonna replace them. They showing that now. It's gonna be difficult for guys to kind of prove themselves if you can't really get a fight with a guy like because it can get to a point where a guy like Frank Martin, he can fight Tank Davis or Tszyu. If we get an upset in one of those fights, it'll be crazy for boxing. It could definitely be an upset in one of those fights. And that'll be basically a new name guy. Oh yeah, appreciate that, Newt. Shout out to Newt, man. I'm gonna see you again, Newt. Oh yeah, appreciate that sub, Newt. Yeah, shout out to FG Newt, man. Yeah, that was the last good fight though. Really, Charlo, Canelo. I mean, you could technically throw that in there, but it had a better undercard. But overall, I think the bigger fight last year was Crawford. So that means 2 years in a row, Crawford gonna have the fight of the year. Is him and Tszyu the fight of the year, or would it be Frank Martin versus Tank, or who would it be? That's a real good question. Hey, I'm gonna put a poll up about that later on. What fights y'all think I should put on there? I'm gonna put Tank Davis, Frank Martin, Tszyu, Crawford, Canelo Munguia, and I'll put the Tyson Fury and Usyk fight on there too. But yeah, shout out to Newt, man. I'm shout out to everybody. Shout out to Go Good. Shout out to Brain Food for following through, man. Appreciate everybody for supporting me tonight. I'm gonna be on tomorrow though. I gotta drop some more news tonight. I definitely got a lot more news to drop, but yeah, I definitely wanted to give you all the information because it's a lot of stuff floating around about that. But that's all I got though. Appreciate everybody like Go Good and Brain Food, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna be on early, probably like 1, 2 p.m. I'm gonna be on early tomorrow, like 1 or 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna try to come on early and late, but I'm gonna be on like 2 p.m. 1 or 2 p.m. I just say like, yeah, around that time. I'm gonna try to put it up there early before I get on live. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put the I'm gonna try to premiere the live before I go on there in a couple of hours, so you'll know. Try to be a little bit better with that. Go Good. Try to put it up there like at least 2 or 3 hours, so you'll see it before I go live. I be moving around, man. It be different kind of news coming out and stuff like that. There's so many fights coming out now. I'm forgetting. I forgot. Anyway, was fighting in May, so that's 5 top fighters that's fighting in May right now. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, hey, thanks, Go Good. Appreciate everything. From you and Brain Food, man. I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. I'm gonna drop some more news tonight. You can look out for a video tonight. I'll drop some. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.